Okay, live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. A little late. Hey, Eric.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, good.
Other than your troubles with the Switch Online not going live yet that you were just talking about before I started the thing?
Well, I'm going through the website trying to see if
Yeah.
I can sign up for it, but it doesn't appear. I see people tweeting about being online and playing online games, but my
It's,
Switch is still updating and the website doesn't say anything about it.
okay, if your Switch is still updating, then probably just check when that's done.
I know. I was hoping to sign up through the webpage though.
Yeah, that would probably be easier. But Nintendo, so.
But they actually have to have the update, the webpage
Yeah.
updated. It still
Well,
says launching today. It's all right. It'll be, I'm sure it'll be there. I guess I'm just impatient.
Yeah.
Why?
Try again like in an hour or something. Just stop worrying about it, essentially. All you can really do.
All right.
I'm going to grab my Switch and see if I can update mine just while we're here.
Let me see what we got in the chat here. Get into the chat. No. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing.
Yeah, not a whole heck of a lot going on there either.
I'm in the wrong channel.
I do not know why there's like no activity on this Hangout tonight.
Well,
everyone stopped because the Nintendo Online was apparently supposed to go live.
Maybe, yeah.
I was going to joke about that, but then that's the first thing you mentioned when you came on, so that might actually be the case.
Oh, Joe. Hey, Joe. Is he still? Yeah, he's still in because he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket can't make it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. My Switch keeps going from 5 minutes left. Now it's up to 11 minutes. I guess my wireless is a little erratic. Anyway. Yeah, I thought I would sign that up. The kids like to play Splatoon, so we're thinking about getting a family membership.
Well, it's not that expensive anyway.
No, and it's not that expensive.
We'll see if it's actually worth it beyond the ability to play online. But even just for that, it's not that much of an expense. And at least they give you the family pack option, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's $35 a year for 7 or 8 accounts. That definitely fills my whole family. And it's cheaper than Xbox. What did I do with that folder? Okay.
Xbox does provide a lot for the money, but it's just kind of maybe still a little too
true.
much.
Get all them games.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I got to download the latest Xbox games with gold.
Yeah, the Monster World bundle.
I did get that one. I can't remember. There's another one. I don't remember what it is.
The game called Live Lock. I have no idea.
All right. I thought it was something I was interested in, but that doesn't sound like something I'm interested in.
I think it might be a twin stick shooter. We looked before on one of the previous Hangouts, but I don't care.
Okay.
The Xbox One offerings have been suffering in comparison to the 360 offerings recently, which is kind of fine. They've given away a lot of high-quality games over the years on Games with Gold, so they're bound to run out occasionally. But I'm predicting that like after like a month or two, they're gonna do another big drop of good titles. Because like they have to space it out, and they're doing Game Pass now, so it's just like let's not maybe give away the highest tier titles that people may want to subscribe to Game Pass for.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Joe.
But yeah, like free Monster World bundle. I'm not complaining about that.
It's what? What was that?
The free Monster World bundle. It's
I don't
care if it's old. It's a good game.
I think One of them is on the Master System, but it's the arcade version, so it's got a little bit better
Yeah.
graphics. One of them is the Genesis version
Yep.
of Monster. I can't keep track of the names. And one of them I don't think has ever been released
Not in the
in the
US.
US
Or North
outside
America
of
in general.
bundles.
Yeah,
like
Monster
this.
World 4. I don't remember what the Genesis one is called, but that one's definitely the better of the first two. I played the first two on there a little bit each.
You
But I
have.
did not play 4 yet. I will say, as far as that arcade one, holy god, the sound is awful. The sound is so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like the sound effects they use. Not like the quality of the sounds like on the emulation, but like the actual sound effects that were used in the game. They're so bad.
Okay.
Ellie,
Looks like my update's done.
or are you with Emma?
All right.
Mine might be as well, but who knows? Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, mine took like 3 minutes. Oh. I have to update a Joy-Con. Okay, that's new.
Let's see if I have to do that.
Oh, Joy-Cons, both of them. I thought it was weird that it was only doing the left one for a second.
A new controller update. Update now. Sure, why not? Oh, yeah. It's doing the left one.
Yeah, and then it's going to do the right one. But that is so weird.
Yeah. I first learned about controller firmware updates. I think it was with the Xbox One. I bought the keypad. And it's like, this needs a firmware update, and the controller will need a firmware update. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah, I made a joke about that the first time I had that happen. I haven't had that happen with PlayStation ever, but it's not really something to complain about. It's just weird.
I thought it was weird. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just there's everything's so complicated. You know, NES controllers are nothing but wires and a couple of electrical switches. Nothing real complicated in there. I think there might be a chip, but there's certainly not a firmware.
Yeah. Hey, controllers now are a lot more complicated.
Yeah, they are. You are damn right about that. Now, I don't see a... I have to go to the eShop to...
That's what I'm trying.
Let's see.
Hey, Chris. Not much. We're just both checking our switches for the updates and everything. Not a whole heck of a lot of activity.
Hey, Chris. Ow. My Switch has the worst network connectivity. It just downloaded the whole update, and now it can't talk to eShop.
Mine's fine. I know that doesn't.
No, I know yours is. I have the worst
that doesn't
connectivity.
Help you, but I'm just letting you know that that's not a universal thing.
No, I'm sure. We've always had a problem. I don't know if it's our router or the unit that we got is just not quite good in antenna. I don't know what the deal is.
Okay, Nintendo Switch Online.
It's not connecting right now. So.
It's under the coming soon tab. It's the second from the bottom when you do get in.
There's a new update.
Membership options. I'm not going to sign up right away, but I'll take a look. Yeah. A year for...
What?
That room is a weak spot.
Yeah, well, I'm out of luck here. It's not updating. Here, you want to do this and sign in?
My hands are dirty right now.
Okay. Well, we're having some fun now. I can't, this room that I'm in, the computer's wired, but the wireless in here is no damn good, so.
Yeah, you can, Chris is asking about the changes. It's mostly for the online, from what I can gather. But there was, I think there's ability to share games between consoles now, the cloud save stuff, which is going to be a case-by-case basis, I guess, for what does and doesn't support cloud saves. But that's a weird one, because apparently they're also going to delete your cloud saves if you don't renew within a week if your subscription lapses. So all your saves could just be gone if you forget about it, which is really bad. It's 25 Canadian for the year. That's not too bad. 45 for the family. So glad I don't have a need for that. Hey Yoshi,
Hey guys.
how's it going?
Okay.
Hey Yoshi.
A bit tired, but okay.
Stupid Switch.
Huh?
We're doing the Switch updates for the online.
Yeah, I thought it seemed kind of crap. Then again, it's like $20 for a year, so
Yeah. It's not much of anything, but it's not expensive. At least it's cheap.
yeah.
As long as it works.
Hey, the free NES games thing is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Although it's probably the same games that were on the NES Classic
Yeah.
that we already also bought for Wii Virtual Console. That
Yeah.
we already also have for the original NES.
Not everybody does. It's just still, it's kind of dumb that it doesn't carry over.
You see what I'm getting at there, right?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of dumb. But,
You know, and the
speaking
same
of,
games they gave away for free on Club Nintendo years ago.
probably. With points. You still had to earn them. But, oh, and for the, ambassador program for the 3DS, when they goofed up on that,
Yeah.
they ended up giving a bunch of free stuff to people. But,
It's the same games every time.
good games are good games. And then there's Urban Champion.
There's a couple of them like that in the bunch.
I know.
They're
That
like,
was just the easy
these
one.
games are really good, dude. That game is shit. Why is it in here?
It's not really shit. It's just kind of not much. But it was an early fighting game, right? So
I guess.
it's not great to go back and play, and they shouldn't really be charging for it. But it's still historically relevant. Anyway, speaking of, since no one's really gonna join for friggin' pickups, I got an NES Classic finally.
Huzzah!
Yeah, it's not really anything super exciting, but I'm
Yay.
glad to have it finally. I just waited, and it happened to pop up on Amazon one day. Done.
I'm gonna go see if I picked up anything worth showing. I don't think so.
Yoshi won't care about this anyway. I got the Planet of the Apes, the new trilogy.
Oh, cool.
That was a deal of the day on Amazon. It's a nice box. But I only had one of them, but I haven't seen the third one yet, so that's kind of why I got that.
Yeah, I don't have any like cool pickups or anything today.
Not many people are gonna miss it. Don't worry.
Oh well. Oh, I do have some pickups, but they're not exactly video game related. I got a bunch of these stupid things.
I'm hoping those are for the lab.
They are. I got one. I put distilled water in one because I bought an ultrasonic cleaner, which still hasn't showed up a week later. Gotta love eBay. But yeah, basically, you know, it's like a bath. You put some solvents in it. You put whatever you put your circuit board in there. It cleans it for you. You take the circuit board out, rinse it with distilled water, dunk it in some 99% rubbing alcohol, let it dry.
You save some of this riveting content for your videos. When you get back to that.
Probably. Anyway. Let's see.
It's probably not going to show me the Switch, the NES games on the Switch unless I sign up. So I can't find that right now. Doesn't matter.
Leads. Everyone needs a good pair of leads, man. Not just one good pair of leads. 2 pairs of leads.
Speaking of cables, it's funny. I got the extenders for the Super Nintendo Classic controllers a while ago, so I had that on hand for the NES when I got that. But I could not find the second one. I got a pack of 2. I've used one, and I've already lost the other one, which is kind of hilarious.
That's not good.
No, I just don't remember where I put the bag. Anyway, hey, Musty.
Greetings. How's everybody?
You
Good.
missed my cables. I got leads. Leads. Banana clip to banana. All right. Banana plug to banana plug. Everybody needs leads.
Anyway,
And more Pokemon games and a dead Game Boy Advance SP that doesn't charge.
yay.
Random crap.
Yeah. Kind of a slow hangout tonight so far.
Yeah.
I got an NES Classic finally.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
His pickup's cooler than mine.
I see them. I still haven't pulled the trigger on one myself. Like, all of the shops in my area have 5, at least.
I've thought
So-
about getting one, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Well, if you have most of them, it doesn't really matter for you.
I
Yeah, I've
have
got-
like
I'm
all but
missing-
one or
I'm
two of
missing
the
one.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even.
and a pie, and a pie too. But I
Yeah.
see Joe in the chat. Hi, Joe, and Mrs. Q Dog. Hi, Mrs. Q Dog. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hello.
I finished Doom today.
Nice.
Didn't I was achievement stalking you. Didn't you already finish that last year
Oh,
or
yeah.
something?
Yes,
So what's different? You just finished it again, or you...
I just went through it again. I wanted it to be fresh.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. You now have that responsibility, don't you?
And
Kind
I
of a
beat
big,
it in a
kind of a
day.
big deal.
The
Kind of a big
responsibility to
deal.
Replay a really good game. Oh, the sorrow.
Yeah.
And I
well,
beat it in a day.
What?
You probably.
you might be able to.
Yeah, you
I
probably.
can't.
There are moments that are certainly like walk away and like
Because they're brutally freaking hard.
I mean there's only so many times you can run up against the same wall. Like you need to adapt. That's the
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to avoid like going too deep into stuff that will be part of the show. But like yeah, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it's
Another
insanity.
news. I'm looking
Yes.
for a cheap PC monitor.
Cheap PC monitor.
Yeah. As in, $150 or less, 24 inches or bigger.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever used
I'm going through my
Scepter
automatic
monitors?
paperwork.
What's the brand?
Scepter?
Scepter. No. I have a BenQ and I like it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
even know if
looking
that's
at
how
one
you
of
pronounce.
those.
I don't even know if that's not how you pronounce. Yeah, I think it's a
I
27.
was looking at one of those. It's like a 27-inch with built-in speakers.
Yeah, mine doesn't have speakers. It's 27-inch and it does a pretty good job.
The Scepter I'm looking at is a 24-inch. Let's see, 24-inch, ultra thin, 75 hertz, 1080p LED monitor, 2 HDMI, VGA, built-in speakers.
Does this scepter have any enchantments?
No, but it's $100.
Oh,
Does it have
Musty.
Does it have a +2 to hit?
Nah.
I tried.
Yeah. We try.
But yeah.
It's got a +2 to inches.
Well, I mean, you should check out where do you look for that type of stuff? Do you have like a preferred source to buy those kind of things?
Amazon, because
Amazon?
it's cheap. And
I
they
was
show
gonna
up in
say
2
you
days.
could look at like Newegg and Tiger Direct. I've had good success with both, and they do tend to have a decent like clearance section. Looking right now, computer.
But I mean, $99. The one BenQ I was looking at for that was the 27-inch was like $150, which is pretty good. But the spot I want to put this thing, I don't think I could fit a 27-inch in there.
So let's see.
Plus, I do like the size of my 22-inch monitor. It's basically almost big enough for me. It just flashes and does weird stuff.
Yeah.
and I'm tired of using it as my main monitor because it's like 1680 by 1050, and it's 10 plus years old.
Yeah, it's coming to the end of its usefulness.
Yeah. I mean, some of these, like, I'll drop a link in the Hangout. There's a few of these are like open box, meaning that they were probably demo units at some point. But like, there's some Acer and Asus. There's an Asus one for 75. It's 23.6 inches.
Same thing as this one then.
Yeah.
Point couple of inch, who cares?
Yeah. And free shipping on them too. So like, there's a few options there.
You drop them in the YouTube thing because I don't have the Hangouts up. It's on my phone, so that's
sure.
a pain.
Will it let me
Just send it to them on Twitter. That's probably easier.
I can do that too.
This probably won't let you do it in the comment section.
It might not. Although I am a mod, so maybe.
Oh, it might work then.
There you go. I dropped it to your Twitter. It's
that works too.
Yep. But yeah, I've had good success. I built my computer through Tiger Direct, or not through them. I mean, I bought the components from them, and that seemed to work okay. And then I think I got my monitor from Newegg on sale.
Yeah, they do have a bunch of open box ones, but I mean, this one does have built-in speakers, which is kind of like for $100 and it's new, not open box.
That's not bad.
So I feel like it's kind of worth the gamble of never using the brand before.
If it's BenQ, it's, or however you pronounce it, maybe it's Bank. I've had nothing but success with this monitor. Granted, this is the only one that I have ever used of theirs. But
mostly, this one I'm looking at mostly has most 5 stars. It's like 4.1 out of 5. And you know how these Amazon reviews work? It's all either 5-star or 1-star.
Yeah, or like, and the 1-stars are usually morons who either comment
about it and it was dead.
Yeah, it's like they got a damaged one or it was damaged in shipping, and they think that's worth a review rather than going to support for help on that.
Just go to support and say, "Hey, it's dead." Or if you got as soon as we open the box, there's a purple line across the monitor.
Yeah, but the weird thing about these reviews, it's like,
we want to return the item, but because it's out of the return window, we can't.
Yeah, there's that. But then there's the other ones where it's just like you just have to assume they get a thing, it's broken, and they go, well, that's money down the drain, and they don't do any more steps than that. So it's just like weird, you know? So that's the only thing I can assume for people that get that mad in comments. It's like they think they can't get an exchange on it for some reason.
Hey, let me read some of these bad reviews just because it's amusing. Here's one from unhappy customer. Look elsewhere. Does not come with a USB/wireless connection to your computer. Waste, WAIST, of time and money. The package came with 0 wireless connections to hook up to my computer, making the keyboard and mouse completely useless.
If someone can find me a wireless monitor,
Yeah, it's just like
that's why like reading some of like the 1-star reviews is great.
Yeah, it's like doesn't work.
But what is a wireless? What is a wireless connection? Wouldn't a wireless connection already? I'm getting into.
How would you set up the wireless connection though if you didn't hook it up to anything first? It's like,
here's one. Stopped working within 15 minutes. All of the positive reviews led me to believe this is the great monitor. However, within the first 15 minutes of setting up the monitor, the screen began flickering on and off, then stopped working completely. Maybe I was giving a defective model. This is very disappointing. Dude.
There's a section for that called support.
Yeah, you contact them, you send them the broken monitor for free. They send you a new one.
Yeah, it's like,
or give you your money back.
Yeah, Well, at least for that person, they don't have to try turning it on and off again because it's doing that for them.
That's so strange.
Yeah. Some people that do reviews are
I
just
thought
very dumb.
I caught your IT joke there, but
Oh my! Here's a guy that had to tape his power cord in place.
Okay.
but it's like you shouldn't. If you're a consumer and you don't understand that you have the ability and right to at least communicate with the seller, I don't know.
It's weird.
Especially through a professional outlet, like through Amazon or through like Amazon will straight up cut you your money back if you're unhappy. Like,
Yeah, it's Amazon support is fantastic.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, Amazon support's horrible if you're a seller. If you're buying stuff on Amazon,
but the thing is,
great.
it's not. I don't think it is bad for the seller. I mean, the seller still like there are times when Amazon just settles it to just have it not be a thing.
Yeah,
It really depends on the situation.
yeah.
But they are
So,
definitely more on the
suppose it
buying
could,
side.
yeah.
they will literally automatically take the buyer's side on everything.
Well, as they should. The buyer's the one who's putting money into the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's valid, sometimes it isn't. It just depends. But at least you have options with it. I don't know how it is as a seller. I've never sold anything on Amazon, but still. I know that was a thing with eBay. That was a thing that came up a couple Hangouts. But
Yeah.
the way they package stuff is kind of subpar at times, though. I've had to exchange things just because they arrived damaged because they didn't pad the damn thing.
Well, I could get a bin queue off Amazon that's a 24-inch for $130, which is probably worth it because it's probably a better monitor. Anyway, I'll send that one over because
Hey, if it sucks, you can return it.
well, I'd rather not get a brand
I-
I've never quite heard of. I think I've heard of
Yeah,
BenQ before, and it seems like Musty likes those.
I'm happy with it, but yeah, let me see this. Let me take a look at this one.
Built-in speakers are nice. Plus, it'll show up in 2 days, which is why I like Amazon.
Yep. Hell, I had a thing that I had a movie that I ordered a while ago. It took a while to ship it, but it shipped today. It's arriving tomorrow. I did not select 1 day shipping on it.
I like when that happens.
Yeah, it's cool.
So the one that I have, I think, is the same. Is like the older edition of this model.
I think they're selling that one still too. But either way.
Yeah.
Plus, I'd rather get one that's got like the eye care stuff in it.
The
Since I spend a
Sensei?
lot of time staring at the screen.
Mm-hmm. GL24. There it is. Yeah, so the one that I have is the one like right if it's right above that. This is the one that I have currently. But it's in the same family. It's just yeah.
Except this one's the UK edition.
Oh, well. That's that model number though.
Ah.
I did not see that. Yeah, the 2450 is the one that I've got. Clearly you wouldn't want to get the UK edition.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 milliseconds, $130. Or I could pay $150 and get a 27-inch, but I don't know if I have room for that. I might. I'd have to rearrange a bunch of stuff, which I was probably going to do anyway. Because I'll probably still use this old monitor and the new monitor at the same time. You know? Anyway, sorry. I guess on monitor talk.
That's fine.
I picked up Spider-Man. That's my only pickup for the
I
week.
was literally just going to ask. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
I did.
I'm not going to bug you if you didn't pick it up.
No, I did. So I had a my local shop does these deals.
The point cards.
Yeah, it's punch cards, so they're embossed punches. I can't really see it, but
Yeah.
Oh well. 6 punches gets you 20% off the 7th game. And so I figured, I was like, you know, and it the maximum price of that game is $69.99 or less. And since we just don't get games that release for $69.99, that
Basically every game.
getting it at full price was going to be my biggest discount that I could get on it. So I figured, why not? And so I pulled the trigger. So I'm an hour in at this point. Got through the like main area, and then I just things opened up. I got my first change of outfit, and then and so at that point I'm that's right where I'm at right now.
Yeah, you got the suit from the cover.
Is that the one that's on the cut? Yeah.
Yeah.
The advanced one.
Yeah. I like that they start off with the classic suit. And you can unlock that again if you want to really fast.
Okay. Yeah, like I was in the lab and I was like, do I really want to go through all of these right now? Because I totally feel like I could just churn out those.
The puzzles?
Yeah.
I actually like those.
It's weird playing Pipe Dream again.
What?
There was an NES game called Pipe Dream.
Oh, and it's basically like
it's the
circuit puzzle.
Yes.
That's cool.
Like, yeah. Kind of, except it's actually timed and like there's goop flowing through the pipes. You have to like get the puzzle put together so that you can actually keep the flow going. It's interesting. It's fun kind of seeing the old games that are adopted as mini games in these bigger releases.
Yeah. It would be cool if that was the inspiration for that.
It's possible. I don't know. Hey, Cartridge Fun. Cartridge Fun's in the chat.
Yep.
Congrats again, Nate, on the new podcast gig. That's awesome. Context. I can give you guys context. If you've been watching now, Weekend Rental Podcast has been posting in our community section for the past maybe a month or two. And there were 3 guys, Justin, Andy, and Ryan, and Justin had to step away. So Nate, who's Cartridge Fun, is taking over for Justin. So he'll be a part of that. So I hope you guys continue to post in community. I know we've had a surge of community content lately. Oh, Ryan's here too. You kicked him out already. That's
Yeah, you guys.
And I still need to check that show out, but I will.
It's a good time. So they play. If you've ever heard of the game, was it? I don't want to use the word because I try not to curse. But F, Marry, Kill. Are you familiar with that game? So they do that with games, and they call it Buy, Rent, Burn.
Ha! That's good.
So they each bring a game to the table, and they all play them, and then they come up with which one they would buy, rent, and burn, or yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's a good time.
I think it
They're on
probably
iTunes, I
monitor
assume.
speakers.
Yes, they're on iTunes, or you can go to the website. They're on there too. But
They almost got the Sega Master System ones right. No, just kidding.
that's fun. I mean, they don't. They haven't always been, and it's weird. I'm talking about them in the third person, and they're in the chat. But
they're in the chat. Oops. Hey guys, how are you?
yeah. But there's been some unconventional games that have popped up, and so stuff that's like for the NES one, Ghost Lion came up.
Oh God.
For one of, yeah. And I'm still on the fence whether I'm actually like want to even look into that game or not. I'm in no hurry with any.
Didn't somebody we know wasn't somebody looking for that at Midwest? Was it back in the day, Gamer?
Yes, he got it too.
He was looking for Ghostline, right?
I think he got it.
Yeah.
And Base Guy has it too.
No, that Base Guy has every friggin' everything, it seems.
He just finished. Well, he finished Demon's Crest.
Yeah.
We got a near situation on the comments on that one for multiple endings.
I think so. I think so. I don't know. I haven't. I only knew that there's a short way and a not so short way.
Ryan keeping people honest about arbitrary ending details.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for the weekend rental, guys. I see there's Vidya Gamer and Cartridge Fun. He's just joined.
Just joined. Yeah.
There were three the guys though, aren't there?
Yep.
Who's the third?
Andy is he's the one I made that trade with at Midwest. That had like Majora's Mask and some other stuff in there. He is Video Game Experiment.
Okay. All right. I've only listened to the one episode, so I'm still learning who these guys are. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Musty Melissa wanted to know. She said you beat Doom at like 1 p.m.
Yeah, over lunch.
Like, okay, that was just because it's kind of like a work day today. So she was just wondering like what was going on.
I have an hour lunch.
I know. I'm just
and I had stopped last night because like last night I knew I had probably about a half hour left, but it was already after midnight, and I was like, go to bed.
Oh, that's rough.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I could muscle through but then
yeah.
As Doom goes, you can run into those situations where it's just like you go 5 minutes, you go 10 minutes, and then you haven't gotten a checkpoint yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And too much of that intensity also isn't great before bed. But
yeah. Man, that's a tough one to play before bed. It's been killing me. Alrighty.
Felt good to finish it.
Congrats on finishing it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What level did you play at?
Hurt Me Plenty.
Oh, that's the default?
Yeah.
Is that what you played it on the first time?
Yes, it is.
Hey, bud.
Hold on a second.
Anyway, here's one I was looking at.
A monitor? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it over. Because I'm on my crappy phone. Oh well, at least it's better than my old phone.
Wait, now you're looking at phones?
No. I already have a phone. Don't need another phone. Though it would be nice to have a better phone.
better things are always nice. Not always necessary, but nice. I was disappointed that there wasn't any kind of new iPad reveal at that Apple event recently, because that's kind of what I'm waiting on.
I heard there's a bit of an outrage about the new Apple phones because there's not the small size anymore.
I mean, you can still get an older one, but that's not really fair, I guess. I think there is a smaller one that's coming out a little bit later. Is the
Oh, there
thing
is.
they're staggering the release? Like the more expensive ones are coming out first, obviously,
Hey, man.
and then the slightly smaller one is coming later.
Everybody wants a phablet phone.
Not me. Phablet? No. It's got to fit in my pocket.
I'm the same way. I
Just get
prefer
bigger
the...
pockets.
Sure.
A
Because
pair of
that's how it works.
Junkos or something. Those had those like massive back pockets, right?
I think the SE is a good size for a phone for like iPhones.
That's what Sean had.
Yeah,
He was pretty happy with it because I had the 6S guts, but it was
smaller.
much smaller.
I mean, sometimes it seems like it would be good to have a slightly bigger phone, but not often enough to like get a different one.
I guess it depends on what you're trying to do on your phone.
Yeah. Just sometimes text on a site or just navigation on something. You need like a little bigger of a screen, but you can always just use a tablet or a computer instead if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything was optimized for the small phones, but then again, some sites are not optimized at all. So that's where you run into that issue. I should turn my TV off. I'm getting distracted by the pre-roll on the NES Classic.
Musty, did you sign up for Nintendo Online?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to. I'm not
Ooh.
I'm just not in a hurry to. And I like everything that I have on that is single player.
Do any of you know how these so I've signed up, but they have these, they have those NES controllers. Do you know how to actually get those?
Probably
It's not showing up as available. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to actually buy them.
Probably through the website or Club Nintendo or something.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm looking at, but I don't understand where you actually click the I want these. I don't know if they're not available yet or what.
They might not be.
Okay.
Are you wrestling bags, Yoshi?
Maybe.
There you go. I need to step away for a minute.
Okay.
What else?
As he steps away, the one thing that popped into my head was the Captain Marvel trailer, but obviously that'll be right in his wheelhouse. I'm like solidifying this itinerary, which is, I mean, it's coming faster than like 3.5 weeks for us that I'll be that we'll be flying out.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go through, on our way back from Seattle, we're going to go through Aberdeen, which is Kurt Cobain's hometown.
Okay.
And that's where the 101 meets, like, west of Olympia.
Washington?
Washington. Yep.
It's also apparently the hometown of Daniel Bryan.
The wrestler?
Yes.
The actor?
The actor?
Yeah. So we're going to stop there. There's a little, like, memorial park kind of thing. We were going to go that way anyway, so finally we have, like, a landmark that's relevant. But yeah, so it's like we're going to Aberdeen, we're going to Astoria, Cannon Beach, and then we're gonna book a place. We're gonna get there's a Comfort Inn by the airport that has pretty competitive pricing.
Which airport?
You're like in your area.
Oh yeah, okay.
That one. So we're probably going to grab that because a lot of the other ones in the area just for a single night on a Thursday are like surprisingly more than I think we'd want to pay for just one night, but it should be good. I'll take a $75 hotel room at any point. Like, especially after a week of Airbnbs and all that stuff. But no, it's exciting. We're ready for it. I need it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. My wife did this thing the other day where she's like, I want to make sure that we're not imposing. We're not imposing, right?
On us?
On you guys, yeah.
By coming over?
Yeah. She's worrying for no reason.
Oh, no.
I think
you're talking about Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the night you have a hotel, right?
So our plan was to drive in, check into the hotel, and then come over.
Oh, of course. No, that's not imposing. I just want to make sure because we will have out-of-town guests staying at the house already.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't offer. I don't know if I made that clear before.
You did make that clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. We would have said, like, come on over.
She's like, are we invading in family time? I'm like, I don't think so. Because if all the other guys were there on Thursday, then they would likely be there too.
No, you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
It is.
I don't know if it'll be awesome, but Melissa's mom and her brother will be in town.
Okay.
So worst case, you'll have to deal with us and our 3 kids and the mother-in-law, and the uncle, or we'll go out and we'll shuffle them upstairs or something, and grandma and the 3 kids can vacate. No. It's going to be great. No, there's no imposition.
Okay. I just want
your son is not coming with you.
Correct.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem if he was. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. No,
because he could hang out with I'm sure my daughters would.
He's 4.5. He's 4.5. He plays well enough.
Yeah, they would love that.
Yeah, he'd be. But yeah, this is a vacation for the 2 of us. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's no problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will reassure
awesome. I don't know if we're gonna. Yeah, definitely tell her. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do Friday. We may not do nothing.
I think that's okay. Like,
check the chat. Last year we did a brunch on Friday morning, but I don't think we're doing that again.
Yeah, so she's flying out. We were thinking about grabbing a brunch somewhere in Portland. I was trying to figure out a good place for it.
On Friday.
Yeah, she's got to be at the airport between like 11 and 12 because she flies out at like 1. Well, we should be there by 11. Let's say that. But,
oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So you guys want to be downtown Friday morning? Yeah, we're probably not going to do anything then. Okay. Maybe we can come back to my place Sunday night. What time are you leaving? What day are you leaving?
I'm leaving Monday morning.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't have transportation as of Friday. I turn the rental car in. So
you're going to be at that hotel Sunday night, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And Chris will be there, and Julian will be there.
Yeah.
I think they're all there through Monday. So.
Yeah. So if we don't do something at my house Friday, there's always an option of doing it Sunday after the expo if you guys are up for it, or we don't have to do anything. But as I mentioned, I don't remember where I mentioned it. I was talking to Melissa. We they're closing the arcade kind of early. They're closing it at 10.
That's weird.
Is that? I thought they used to.
It was I thought it was 11, if not midnight, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when I was there, because that first night, like we were there till like the very end, and then you guys drove back home, put out your day 1 video, then like turned right around.
Oh yeah, those are a couple of rough days to go home late and then throw up a video and be up early the next day. Whatever. It's fun. It's all part of the experience. You remember Barry? We were up till like 3 a.m. every night.
Yeah.
Getting up at 7.
I mean, we did the same in Chicago too. So this is This seems to be an us thing.
Sleep later. The time's too valuable to be sleeping in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. Yeah. No. Thursday's fine. Melissa says it's fine if you look in the chat too.
Yeah, I see that. So no, that's good.
It's gonna be awesome. We thought maybe we would. Yeah, we'll play it by ear, but we thought maybe we'd take you to this place, this bar restaurant that's pretty good. They got a poutine there.
Ooh,
which I like. I think the poutine there is really good. It's It's a green chili,
Oh, interesting.
verde chili pork with cheese curd. The sauce is that's a green chili sauce with pork. It's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. Anyway, we can play it by ear.
Yeah, I think
We'll
we'll be
do
tired.
whatever you guys
We'll be tired of seafood at that point, I'm sure.
Going down the coast, yeah.
Yeah, seafood and
pork. Sorry.
Yeah,
Melissa's
sushi.
like 30 seconds behind because she's watching the YouTube. She's yelling at me. Anyway.
No, it's good.
It's gonna be awesome, man. What is that? 4 weeks from now? 4 weeks from
4
Thursday?
weeks from Thursday, yeah.
Sooner for you. All right, is Fitnat back?
I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with those episodes of now. Gonna be tough. I can
Upload
take
from your phone.
Yeah. Do now on the road.
Just do it now on the road. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We're just. I don't know.
Tough because I use my phone for my script.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, doing it.
An idea you could do is you could do like a group now thing where like you could have several people like introduce their own thing,
Right.
Their own episodes that week.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, like where you cut clips together where you just film a couple of people doing their own intros. It's just a way to incorporate the community aspect in for that episode. Way to mix it up and not have to worry about really production values necessarily.
That's true. I may try and get, if I can get the one, like we fly out on Saturday, the 13th. If I can get the one for that weekend filmed on Friday, which is like my normal cutoff, like that's when I'm cutting off those episodes. If I can do that, then it'll only be the weekend of Portland. And maybe I just do that episode when I get home. It's a day late. No big deal.
All right, I gotta eat dinner. I'll be back in a little bit.
Cool. Yeah. It's exciting times.
Yeah, you could just do a community thing that would liven it up, I guess, and kind of relieve you of having to worry about like lighting and stuff like that for that week.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if it's on location, then it's certainly
excusable.
It should be. It should be. Be like, here's now from the hotel room.
Yeah. This isn't really important, but I didn't show you one of my pickups. It's just the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the new one.
Oh, cool.
Nice. It was a deal today on Amazon.
Interesting cover art.
Like they've got one of those tabs that you just are supposed to pull off, but it's just a sleeve for the Blu-rays.
Okay. Cool.
It was like $20 Canadian on sale. Not bad. I haven't seen the third one yet, which is the main reason I got it.
I haven't seen. I saw the first one. I haven't seen
the one with what's his freaking name?
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. That's the one you saw?
Yes.
That one's good, but it's not as good as the second one, at least. I haven't seen the third, but that's kind of more like that. The Rise of is kind of more of an origin thing with James Franco and Caesar.
Yeah.
So it's just like you kind of just get a bunch of them, which there are good moments there, but it's not really what you want out of a Planet of the Apes if you're like experiencing the original ones, I guess. I haven't seen the original ones. But just of what I know of the original one, you're not getting that. So it just can kind of feel like not what you want to watch. It's not all that exciting if you're going in with that aspect. The second one is much more that.
Okay.
But not in like a
I'll get around
callback way.
I think I just missed them when they came out and kind of have a Tomb Raider thing going on right now, right? Like, wouldn't mind seeing the third one, but I haven't seen the second one yet. So.
Oh yeah, that's the situation I'm in for Shadow of the Tomb Raider as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next couple weeks, months are going to be insane.
Yeah. I need to finish Spider-Man just so I can move on to something else, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I do want to finish the story, but it is kind of preventing me from wanting to do all the side activities. which I'm actually kind of getting bored of anyway, just because it's a little repetitive. Not bad, it's just not what I'm in the mood to be doing at the moment. I keep thinking of other things I want to play.
And that's okay.
Yeah, like Dragon Quest and the other pickup that's not a physical thing, which, oh boy, this has a lot to prove. I picked up Destiny 2 Forsaken, the new expansion on that. Oh boy, was that annoying. Just to even get. I had to work to spend money on it. I think it was a glitch for me specifically, but it was just such a bad first impression back after months. Because I log on to my Xbox and I go to the store to go download the DLC, as you would normally think to do. It is not sold separately. So that's confusing. And then I went instead into the game. It's like, okay, they're going to have a button prompt for it. So you go to that and it tells me, it gives me two options. It gives me the option just for the DLC by itself, and the one that includes the annual pass, which has 3 more add-ons that will be released as time goes on, that we've seen none of. So I don't want to get any of that because I have no confidence yet. And so I try to get the DLC by itself. It says it is unable to connect. So just out of curiosity, I click on the other one, the $100 version that has all the stuff I don't care about. That link does work.
Interesting.
So I was obviously not doing that. I turned on my computer and I went to the website and I had to back end into a link that's not even supposed to be available to even buy the DLC. It took me a half an hour to spend money. And here's the kicker. It adds tax of up to like $6. So this is Canadian. It's like supposed to be, I think it's like 40 something US. So it was 53 Canadian. After tax, it was $60. That it took me half an hour to spend. Yikes.
That's interesting. I saw an exchange between a couple people, like quote unquote mainstream content creators about it. Andrea from What's Good Games and what's his name? Destin from IGN, like arguing about Forsaken. Yeah.
What channel is that on?
No, it was just on Twitter. There was a back and forth between the two. Let me find it.
Yeah, I will say I played a bit last night of Forsaken, and it's good so far. I can't take the story seriously in any kind of way, but it's just kind of, that's how it goes. It's MMO story type stuff, where it's like they're taking it really dead serious, and it's kind of hard to get past that, you know?
Where is it? Yeah, it was something about how how there wasn't enough time for the raid, or like I don't know that I understand it.
The raids are my blank spot for Destiny because I've never been able to get a group of 6 together to play them.
Here we go. I think I found it. So Destin did a poll that said, is not being able to complete the Destiny 2 Last Wish raid on week 1 an issue Bungie should adjust or alter for the next raid in some manner? Vote and leave a comment if you'd like to clarify your stance. It was an overwhelming no, do not adjust. Like 82 to 18.
I do not know the case for this raid at all.
So Sean Finnegan says, the easiest no I've ever voted. Bungie doesn't owe the players the ability to do/complete the raid. If that's something you want, then you got to put the time and work in and recognize that it's being a little lucky is part of the game. Always has been. Andrea says there simply wasn't enough time to grind to the light level you needed. Execution is always the challenging part of the raid, but being at a severe disadvantage just because your hit points is not strong enough is straight up ridiculous. But shortening the grind isn't the answer.
Was it a limited event?
Apparently. Destin says that there were only 88 teams, 588 people who entered it and completed it in 3 days. He completed it with a group of people who had normal jobs, were students, other responsibilities. It's doable. if you can't do it now, come back in a week or two and get her done. So they went back and forth, and she's like, that's insane. Of millions of people, only 588 of them were able to complete it. Like, that's...
Those things are kind of the challenge runs of the game, and they take hours. Like, my friend BCom and like the group he runs with on Destiny, I've heard him talk about like 6-hour sessions just on the raid for like one. And not this one, like just previous ones. They take forever. And they're really challenging. You have to be really coordinated. You have to be the right level. They're just kind of the end game stuff. So having it be limited is a little strange, to be honest.
Yeah. So I have only played the story content with you. So I like all the stuff after that, the strikes and things. It's not my... I have zero comprehension as to what all of that really entails.
The strikes are worth doing. The worst experience you'll have is like just being paired with 2 random people. But I'd run the strikes with you. It's just 3-person quick missions, but those are always fun. I can't remember a single one from this one, but that's just because I haven't put as much time into it as the previous one. Because I looked at my time spent on the 2 different Destinies just to compare. I think it was like 43 days for the first one, and I think it was 4 for the second one so far. So just nowhere near enough as much time put in. A lot still. Which is like, I will say, a lot of my complaints about Destiny 2 are just, a lot of it comes from that I really like it. But I am experienced with Destiny 1, so I'm going and expecting like being able to play consistently and getting constant, repetitive, but constant stuff to do. It's basically just like stuff to do while talking to friends online, essentially. Or just stuff to do while listening to a podcast. It's kind of intended to be repetitive, but like still interesting. Like getting bounties and running different limited missions and stuff like that. There just was the end game content, essentially, is what I'm talking about. And there just was not that for Destiny 2 for the longest time. So it's like you go in and you keep trying to do that, and it's just not there for you, and it's frustrating. And it highlights all the other little problems, and then it becomes just one huge problem. They've definitely changed how that works in Forsaken, but I haven't experienced a whole lot of it yet. I like what I've played so far, which is something I haven't been able to say for Destiny 2 in a while, because those previous 2 small DLC packs were horrible. They were real bad. Like, the base game is good, but those 2 DLC packs are just like, what the hell were they thinking with that? So, of course, those are required to buy Forsaken as well. So, I would not invest in it until that's on sale, if you were interested at all.
Yeah, I like right now. If I wanted to do any of that, like gold would have to be my first purchase, because I'm without at the moment.
Maybe they'll do a free weekend for all the DLC at some point. I doubt it, but who knows? But yeah, if you ever want to get back on there, I'd be up for that. They have changed a lot, even for the base game.
Okay. Be interesting to see that just over the span of, because there's been 2 expansions now.
It's on its 2 mini expansions and 1 full expansion. So it was like, just for example, like I'm going to go off Canadian prices just because it's what I know, but just you can convert it yourself. Is $50 was what it was to buy the first 2 DLCs, and $50 was what it was to buy just this new one on its own. So significant size difference.
So sorry to interject. I just noticed that Cheap Ass Gamer just tweeted out that those NES controller for the Switch just are in pre-order. Like he just posted it like 30 seconds ago.
Okay.
So I dropped the link in the chat because I know Steven was asking, I think Eric was too.
asking. Eric was really curious about it.
They look
He was
so like.
It
So,
looks real dumb.
I mean, what you could do instead. Sure. I mean, it's great that they charge off the the same as the Joy-Cons do and all of that, but you could get those 8-bit Bluetooth kits and a Bluetooth adapter for the Switch, and just when you're playing docked, and do it that way. I just don't see the point.
$80 for what? For the controllers?
Yeah, for those two Joy-Cons NES controllers.
Perfectly honest, I thought it was more than that. But I don't care about it, really.
Yeah. I mean,
there are a lot of jokes to be made for it.
It's not like they released that classic, like the Wii had the classic controller, right?
Mhm.
I mean, like, I'm surprised they didn't just go with something like that instead of this, because because they could then put out a Super Nintendo one and a like, they could in theory release like
a lot of varieties,
a whole bunch. Yeah,
it's goofy.
It just looks kind of it
looks real goofy. Honestly, it reminds me like they're doing Katamari. Someone could put like the two sides of the head on there and like the face on the screen.
That'd be pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and then those are locked. That's right. Base Guy mentions that those controllers are locked to the NES games
that are online,
that are on the Switch.
Oh boy, that's dumb. At least they're doing that kind of a limited thing. Like, if you want to, but they're not an essential thing. Like, they're not like really marketing them. They're just kind of a little novelty item.
Mm-hmm.
So at least there's that. They're not like trying to sell this mass market, but it's still silly. It's still very goofy.
Yeah.
Was there anything with Destiny other than what we covered that you wanted to go over?
Thinking.
I'll mention one thing from the previous DLC just because I think it's funny. It was Warmind. It was the second pack. But like, people make jokes about character swaps. They like the enemy like color swaps. You literally fought ice versions of the enemies from the previous base game.
Okay.
Like, there was Ice Hive. And it's like, you can't make that up because it's so just bland. And like, the big threat was this like I don't know if it was intended to be mysterious, but it was like they refer to Zol. It was like XOL, so it's like Zol the entire time. Then you don't know what the hell it is. It's such a non-story. I'll just spoil what Zol ends up being because it's just such a non-freaking starter. It's this giant worm you end up fighting at the end. And it's like, what is the point of this entire thing? But the best part about it is it's Zol, so it's like immediate Ghostbusters thoughts.
Yeah.
There is no story. There is only Zol. There was more story to it than that, but it just wasn't all that interesting. But I think one of the characters literally said Zool in one of the cinematics.
Oops.
And they just never caught it, but I thought that was funny. That's all I want to say about that particular aspect. It was bad, but at least it was funny to make fun of while playing it.
Yeah. I was going to ask Captain Marvel trailer thoughts of you.
I've only watched it once, but I think it looks good. There's stuff in there that I didn't think they would be doing, like the helmet. Like, I didn't think they'd do that in live action. I didn't know how they were going to handle that, but there's a clip in there, like, people are misinterpreting it, like people that aren't that familiar, but it's kind of hilarious out of context, is like Captain Marvel, she's on the like the subway, and she just looks at this old lady and she smiles at her. The old lady smiles at her, and then Captain Marvel just punches the old lady in the face for no apparent reason in the trailer. Just like
she's one of the aliens.
Skrulls. Yeah, it's like there's no context for that in the trailer, so Captain Marvel is just straight up punching this old lady that smiled at her on the train. It's like, I just think that's hilarious in an unfortunate way.
I mean, I did see some talk about that on Twitter this afternoon. I mean, it's talk. People are at least talking about it, right? Like, it's Blockbuster.
Yeah. Just in case you weren't sure when this took place, the 90s aspect gets pounded into your head when she literally starts the trailer by crashing into a Blockbuster. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. It looks good. I need to always frame it. Like I showed the trailer to my wife, and she's like, "Okay, so this is the person that he beeped." And I was like, "Yes, this is the person he beeped." Okay, and so she's interested, but she also was waiting to watch Shameless, and so it's like, okay, well, I'll let you get on to your night.
I'm just going to stop for a second since Eric is back. There's a link that Musty posted in the chat.
I'm on it.
For the controllers.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I saw that pretty quickly.
Yeah, just figured I'd let you know in case you didn't.
Yeah. Thanks. This will teach Kevin.
Context?
What?
No, nothing. He was making fun of people who they were kind of teasing people who are these big Nintendo fans, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to order those things right away.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just.
Did you listen to Fandango today?
Yeah, I did. I listened to the whole thing.
They're goofy as hell.
I was at work.
I liked this week's episode better than I have previous week's episodes.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Okay.
I don't know. There was less.
I don't remember. What specifically about it?
Let me think of what it was.
Can I hope for less cynicism?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was some of it.
Yeah, I'm way behind. That's just on me. I've been avoiding it. I just haven't been actively listening.
For once, so they read through a couple of the comments, but they didn't go reading through all of them. And I think what happens sometimes.
Comments on what?
Like their forum posts.
Oh, okay.
Like listeners post in the forums, and then the next episode they reiterate what was said in the forums, which then sometimes leads to a perpetuation of the same discussion happening over and over again. And they didn't do that, which I thought was good. Like they took two people's comments, and then moved on into what they wanted to talk about, which I noticed that too. Yeah, I thought that was a better. If there's one piece of feedback for Kevin and for Richard, it would be have the discussion in the forums. Like, I think it'd be great if they interacted with their audience more in the forums. It'd be more encouragement to have people be in their forums and commenting, and then let that discussion live there, and not unless there's something that absolutely has to be brought up in the episode, the next episode,
Yeah, if it's a question for the show or something in that discussion kind of evolves into a topic for the show, then bring it out rather than
and a couple of those did, because there was the question about the whole Shane Black, Olivia Munn thing, and then there was one other. Julian asked a question. Oh, the Tarantino Star Trek question.
Yeah, that's been floating for a while. The Tarantino Star Trek thing, I mean.
Yeah, they had some good thoughts on that. That it seems like the way to market things nowadays is to float the concept, and then see how much people actually are interested in it before ever sinking more than the time it took to come up with that concept.
Yeah.
worth of time. Right. I mean, it's the hey, it's an April Fool's joke, and then if people are like, oh, I would really like that product, and then people go, well, maybe we can. Here's our proof of concept.
Yeah.
This is viable. Let's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Back to the commenting like on the forums and the reading on the show. Not to like specifically like decry them. I don't know if that's the right word, but to get on their case for doing that. Because I understand why they do that, but it's kind of, for the listener experience, it just kind of comes off like reading letters, like snail mail letters from the audience. Like they're going through the actual physical mailbag because they like there's no back and forth because they're like they receive a letter, they read it on the show, and then they put the show out, and then someone writes another letter and sends it in, and it's just kind of like that kind of speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird.
In this era where all of us can communicate, instantly, we don't have to write each other letters.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like that. It's like weird snail mail back and forth, episode to episode. Just kind of disconnected.
It's like you gatekeep the conversation to, like you force that commenter to listen to the next episode. I suppose it helps retain viewership, but when you're not, it's not like they're getting flooded with 25 different comments from 25 different people every single episode.
Chances are if someone's commenting on the forums to your thing, they're already listening. So it's just like...
Exactly. Yeah. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Idea.
It's not like they weren't necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just kind of an odd method.
Yeah.
There are better ways to go about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think all of us who have done videos or have done podcasts at some point have said like, effectively saying, I don't want to come up with a topic. Can you guys throw questions at me so I can just answer these questions? That can be fun.
It's better than like trying to just kind of off the cuff come up with something you don't really have anything to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously community discussion. But I will say one more problem with that method of just kind of reading something on the forums, then responding to it on the podcast and back and forth that way, is if there's a misunderstanding, and it's again, this is not Fandango specifically, it's just kind of that concept, that method. If there's a misunderstanding, that person cannot defend themselves. Like
it takes
a
couple of episodes to kind of like sort itself out. Yeah,
it takes a long time to clear a misunderstanding, and it just kind of you end up with maybe people thinking something different of somebody than was intended.
Sure. Oh yeah, I mean that's happened. Not recently, I would say like last year I had something that got like, I don't know if the way I wrote it was not the way that it was read.
Yeah.
The words were the same, but the
inflection was different.
Exactly.
Kind of like that. I don't really watch Key and Peele, but I remember like there was this gag that I think my mom found it and showed it to me, where it was like reading a text message back and forth, and like the tone like that was intended is completely read a different way. So I think it was like one of them was like inviting the other to a bar just to hang out, and like the other one thought it was like being invited to a fight. It's like just because like it was the way it's written in text can come off any number of different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we get for communicating via text.
I mean, sometimes that happens.
Oh, base guy's leaving.
Yeah.
Bye, base guy.
He's leaving. He's not coming in here. Hop in here. What's going on?
Good night,
Chris.
I think he said something about why he couldn't be on, but I can't remember.
He's got to go play some NES games on his Switch.
I tried Super Mario Brothers. It loaded very quickly.
I was going to say, did it work?
It did work.
That's good.
And I'll continue not to play it as I have for the last 32 years.
Well, I will not be playing it on this.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll try and play it. I've tried several times.
I got a legit
I've never finished any of those. Other than Mario World now. I only have
Nice.
one of the classic 4 that I've finished.
Oh, can I ask you guys about that? I listened to that podcast.
Which one?
The Mario World.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious because you guys like pretty much everybody universally loved that game. Can I talk about spoilers or?
For
It's
that?
Mario World.
Okay. I was just curious because Ryan kind of went through the 3-word reviews pretty quickly,
Mhm.
and Melissa's was not worth continuing.
Those
Okay.
were recorded after. I'm not familiar with.
Yeah,
those
so-
were.
So
Oh, okay.
here's the peek behind the curtain, and the reason why we didn't get like conversation about them is because we recorded that in early July.
Yeah.
Because P1 hadn't left yet.
Right. Okay.
So we had to try to hide the seams as best we could.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
No.
No, it's fine.
I was wondering because there was like no conversation, and you were like, "We're talking about how great the game is," and then Melissa's is like, "Do not continue, not worth playing" or something, and there was no reaction at all.
Yeah, it's like back to the positivity.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and I was just
moving
like,
right
wow.
along.
Okay, that's why. No, that explains
Yeah,
it. I'm
that's-
sorry.
yeah.
Yes,
No, it's fine.
I should have known because P1 wasn't around.
Hey, we did a good job.
You did a great job because I completely
Yeah.
forgot, even though I knew that had to have been the case.
Yeah, so it's like all the 3-word reviews that were guests on the episode that happened like in real time, but everything else was just cut in.
Okay.
Ryan just
Yeah.
kind of had a pause in the discussion so he could cut that in, and then we carried on.
Yeah.
We're trying to do a little more of that and less of the we'll take care of this in post, or like we'll edit this part out. Like we're trying to make sure that we don't have as much of that going on.
Yeah. Right. Well, boy, that would really be a change.
That's right. There'll actually be editing.
There actually won't be any comments about how we're going to edit this stuff out and post.
Right. Yeah. Well,
That's fun.
we've got some good ideas for Doom, and for this year. Like there's some adjustments that both he and I really want to adopt into this new edition of Prime. So without going into much more detail, like I hope it works. I hope people like the music interludes. Although I know P1 has done that in the past. He's had a few, like the Shadow of the Colossus episode, for example, has a ton of music and even a cutaway to a portion of Neverending Story, which that was a gut punch. Like I was not expecting that moment to show up.
I'm sorry. What was this about? What?
Shadow of the Colossus, the Prime episode.
Oh,
And a Neverending Story reference.
Yeah.
okay.
I have never seen Neverending Story, and I never finished Shadow of the Colossus, so I have not a clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus, and I've been trying to avoid knowing much about it. So
I will say nothing more. I will say
Thank
nothing
you.
more.
I'm sorry.
I need to get the PS4 version of that. That's kind of where I want to play it.
Yeah, that edition is supposed to be pretty good.
I own the previous 2, but there's a gooder one out, so I might as well play that one.
Yeah, I have the PS2 one. I haven't
That's the one I have.
haven't made the move toward the Eco Collection one.
Oh, I have
Ico.
that one too.
Yeah, that one I only that one was on sale on PS3 for like $3, so I'm not out a whole heck of a lot having
That's good.
bought that version. It's still the only way I could play Eco, so there's that. What the heck was I going to talk about? Oh, for the music interludes, I haven't listened to any of the episodes that have done that apparently, but is it kind of like bonus barrel-ish, where it's like you talk a little bit and then there's like a music interlude between topics?
Yeah, kind
like
of.
that.
Yeah, like
I like that method.
the Street Fighter episode, he did some of that.
Okay,
Like he threw in the like round 1 fight. Like
that's good.
those were fun.
Kind of like sometimes when people do like Transformers videos, they do the cutaway, the do 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 do.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when people do that. That's fun.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the Street Fighter episode. That's on me. Whoops.
Yeah, Tim is a wealth of knowledge. Like, just astonished
Oh
me
yeah.
how much he knew about, like, it's funny how we pick games that we don't think have any story, and then we find out there's this abundance of it if you only wanted to seek it out. That will be something that comes up, I think, in this month. But
Yeah, I'm sure there's some not very good story in this comic I picked up from a thrift store a while ago.
nice.
I have not tried it.
I saw there's
so.
an Xbox game, original Xbox game in that
Mhm.
series, right? Like that sort of,
Street Fighter?
or maybe it was,
Or SNK versus Street Fighter?
I think so.
I'm sure there are. I know there's several collections, like the there's a lot of these. I cannot remember the names. Some kind of Mega Mix or Fighters collection, whatever the hell it's called.
SNK versus Chaos. Yeah, SVC Chaos. It's backwards compatible, I think.
Yeah, that's what this comic is SVC Chaos. Volume 1.
They had it at my local shop, and I was like, because it's in like that $20+ range at this point.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I really need this? Do I really want
an old fighting game that you may or may not play at some point?
Yeah.
I can barely play new ones because no one wants to play them with me.
The one that I want to get
Well,
is the one that Ryan showed me, the Alpha Collection on the PS2, because it has Pocket Fighters on it, which was only a Japanese Saturn title.
Oh, okay.
Except there.
Sorry, stop for a second. Yoshi, were you trying to say something a second ago?
yeah, I ended up buying a monitor.
Boom.
I got an HP one. It's 27 inches with an IPS display.
Monitor update! Good thing you found one, though. It's cool.
Well, I kind of was leaning towards the IPS displays because that's a lot better than the old TN technology, supposedly. You know, if I'm going to buy a new monitor, I might as well get one that's good tech. And do I really need built-in speakers that are probably just going to sound like shit?
Nope. I thought it was... Honestly, I thought it was kind of weird you were looking for built-in speakers, because those are usually terrible.
Jay, that's what a couple of people have told me, is they're terrible. And, like, why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah, because it probably costs more, too.
Yeah, a couple dollars more. If I wanted crappy speakers, I could just,
Go to a thrift
spend
store.
another $12 on some Logitech things or something.
Yeah, go to a thrift store. Just get one out of a bin. Probably be
Or
better.
that.
Yeah, anyway.
I think I have some that came out of a bin, so
Okay, anyway, back to fighting games.
ew.
Yeah, so it was Street Fighter Alpha Anthology.
Mhm.
Is the one that I was looking at.
What'd they make that for?
PS2. And
Where are
it's
you
got-
looking for that?
Why or where?
No, where? Where? Is it
Anywhere.
on PSN, or are you just talking about getting a physical?
No, it's on PS2. Like I've been looking for the disc if I can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Is it hard to get?
No,
Oh, it's
I mean
not? Okay.
there's plenty of eBay copies. Like I could jump on it right now if I wanted, but
Why PS2? Doesn't the 30th anniversary have all the alphas?
but this has that Pocket Fighters,
Oh.
which are Gem Fighters. I can't remember what it's actually called.
Puzzle Fighter?
No, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix.
Okay.
That
Previously-
might
Puzzle
be
Fighter's
a
pretty good.
predecessor to Puzzle Fighter. I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah, it's
I feel like that Gem Fighter thing might be a predecessor to Puzzle Fighter. I am not
okay.
familiar at all, but I seem to remember hearing something along those lines
Hmm.
in a video somewhere.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
could be
so-
entirely wrong.
It's like a chibi Capcom. Yeah, so like there's Darkstalkers characters and Street Fighter characters, and
Yeah.
but they're all chibi.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where
that's
that
how Puzzle
style
Fighter
came
is.
from. Like the character animation style. Maybe that's where they got the idea for that particular aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they just try to make a
But
puzzle
they're
game
all-
out of it.
But I mean, yeah, but this is a straight up fighter, whereas Puzzle Fighter is a puzzle game that has fighting behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
It was always so weird when I would see like in one of the PS2 era Mortal Kombats, they'd have like a Puzzle Fighter clone, they'd have like a kart racer in there. That was a weird era. I think one of them had chess as minigames.
Interesting.
Random side note, but like in it was either Deception or Armageddon. I don't think in any of that was in Deadly Alliances.
Okay, let me just confirm. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo came out first.
Okay.
So this used the same character designs though as that.
Okay, that makes more sense actually.
But yeah,
'Cause
like
why would they decide halfway through like let's make a fighting game with the chibi versions for no reason?
Yeah,
And
there's
add
some
gens.
there's some cameos like Jill from Resident Evil, Mega Man shows up. Yeah, it's really interesting. But I played it at Ryan's at Midwest for the first time, so that's why I was like, I need to find this.
One of the downsides to modern collections versus like PS2 era ones, like sometimes they just won't have the same bonus games in them. Like all the Sonic games are in the Ultimate Genesis collection on 360 and PS3, but you don't get the Game Gear ones like you did on Mega Collection Plus. So I've kept Mega Collection Plus for that.
I have that.
I want to get the Xbox version of it. I've got PS2 right now. Not that it makes all that much difference, but I just kind of prefer.
Yeah. 6 additional Game Gear titles. Yep.
Yeah. And it's got Comic Zone and The Ooze, which is a game that I had never heard of before or since, other than in that collection.
And 3D Blast.
I'm one of the few people that actually kind of likes 3D Blast, apparently. I don't think it's the best of them by any means, but I've enjoyed that game.
Yeah, and then oh, did you see the new Genesis, the newer Genesis collections coming to Switch?
Oh, I didn't see that, but
yeah, it
I
got
know
announced.
I
That
know
officially announced today.
Yeah,
I know that's
kind of cool. Other than it's probably the same games that released on every other console already.
Actually,
Oh, I'm
no,
sure-
because some of them are definitely, but there's some actually fairly good stuff for like RPGs specifically in there for Genesis.
It's like Landstalker and
Landstalker,
Nice.
Vermilion, something or other.
Sort of Vermilion. That's a good game.
Yeah, there's
It's
like
kind
a
of
couple
different, but it's good.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones that you wouldn't think would be on there that weren't on previous ones.
Mhm.
So that's worth getting for that. Like if you get it on Switch for that reason, you've got a good.
I mean, there's 50 games in that. Actually, Eric may have some thoughts on that inclusion. Eric, we were just talking about Sonic or the new Genesis collection coming to Switch.
Oh yeah. Isn't it the same one that was on PS4 and Xbox a couple months ago?
It was.
Yeah.
I think they knew that it was going to take a while to port it, so they just decided to not say anything so that they didn't cut sales.
Yeah, no kidding. I might have waited too if I had known.
I mean, the thing is, like your PS4 version has VR support, so there's that. The Xbox One has no discernible feature that makes it better than the rest.
That's the version I bought because I buy Sega games on Xbox.
Yep, that's the reason you go that way.
Yeah,
that's where I did it.
I don't know. I think Microsoft kind of took up where Sega left off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the Xbox, because that kind of turned into the Dreamcast too.
Yeah, like look at even the controllers alone. It's just like it's everything's the same except it's got another analog stick, and there's
Yeah.
not like a VMU slot, but that's where the memory card slots are.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
is either. So it's like that's kind of what gets me whenever anyone says like, "Where's the Dreamcast 2?" It's like you've gotten 4 of them.
You got the Dreamcast 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now shut up.
Yeah, it's like even the Dreamcast even ran off a version of Windows. It's not that much
Yeah.
of a degree of separation.
Yeah, it did run off Windows CE.
What's the? Why can't I find the link to the? I'm trying to find the Wikipedia entry for the new collection of Genesis games. What is the title of it?
Genocide. Genocide collection.
Is the Sega Genesis Classics?
Oh,
Or Sega, yeah. Yeah, Sega Genesis Classics. Were you looking up a list of
Yeah.
games on it? Yeah. I mean, 50 games for $30 is a good deal. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the same on
Switch.
Switch. Yeah,
It'd probably be another $10 or something.
it could be.
There's I know there's some missing Sonic games as compared to the previous collection. Yeah,
Yeah, like the first like
Three
the
and,
Master System games are not there.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Just because of Phantasy Star alone, at least,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the arcade version of Shinobi. But
Here
hey,
you go.
you've got
I found
both
it.
the other. You've got the other Shinobis on there. I found the list too. But Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are missing. That's really weird.
Did they at least put Sonic 2?
Yeah, Sonic 1 and 2, Spinball, and 3D Blast. Those are all included.
What?
It's like I'm not complaining, but it's weird.
And Mean Bean Machine is on there too.
I mean,
Now that's
why
just
would you put friggin' Sonic 3D Blast and not 3 and Knuckles?
I
don't know.
I heard there were licensing music issues.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That would make sense.
There's a claim Michael Jackson did the music for Sonic 3.
Yeah, but they've re-released it so many other times. Why now? Is an issue.
Literally.
I don't know. Dates of the license? I have no idea.
Maybe.
No, I can
You'll
only
appreciate
speculate.
this. Other 2 collections or inclusions on that new Genesis collection are Wonder Boy 3 Monster Lair and Wonder Boy in Monster World.
Monster Lair is why I bought one of the reasons I bought that collection.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
not the-
you got it. So
Is that's not on that new that's not the same game as on that other collection from Xbox Live?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
The one that was Game with Gold right now.
Vintage collection, Monster World. You got to remember all these Sega collection titles. All the typing is happening. Yeah, it's Wonder Boy in Monster Land, Wonder Boy in Monster World, and Monster World 4. Those are the ones on that one.
And that's different than Monster Lair.
Monster Lair is Wonder Boy 3.
It's a version of Wonder Boy 3. There's the Dragon Trap and
okay.
there's Monster Lair.
Yeah, I think
they
that's
pulled
right.
an Ease 4 on that one.
Yeah, that's right. I remember looking that up. That's exactly right. They pulled an Ease 4. There's 2 Wonder Boy 3s.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Like a sun and moon type?
No,
they're
it's
actually
because
different games.
it's like a Final Fantasy naming thing.
Yeah,
Sega,
except they actually made different games, and it's not just region confusion.
Well, there's also
Halo
Wonder
3
Boy
ODS.
3 has like 5 or 6 different versions now.
Which one?
Wonder Boy 3.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
it's
Now,
almost
Dragon's Curse for Turbo Graphics, or whatever it is. Dragon's Curse,
Yeah.
Dragon's Trap. That's Wonder Boy. They
yeah,
just changed it.
that one is very much. Yeah, they're all pretty similar except for the HD remake that was just done. But Monster
yeah, but
Lair
the
is
HD
a totally
remake
different
is
game.
great. I need to sit and play that.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's pretty good.
I need
I should
someone else
probably
to
play Doom.
Play Doom.
I need someone else to
What?
play that arcade game that's the Monster Land probably that's on the collection on 360 and tell me if I'm nuts thinking the sound on that is terrible.
I'll play it
Hey
later.
guys, you want to play Wood?
What'd you say, Yoshi?
You want to play Wood? WOOD.
And Doom backwards and upside down.
Oh, I thought this was some weird.
Literally,
wanna-
if you
I don't
take
wanna
the
say.
Doom disc or case or whatever and turn it around upside down, it reads Wood.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
There you go. I got it.
Nope. Yeah.
Right
that's-
here.
Yep.
There you go.
See?
You guys all have
See?
it handy. That's funny.
Well, I just brought it down so I can put it back on the shelf.
Are the guests on the Doom podcast a secret?
They don't. I don't think they have to be.
You don't have to tell me. I'm just curious.
I'm waiting for another RPG podcast.
When's the next open slot? Let me ask that question. Doom is full, right?
Doom's full.
Resident Evil, I assume.
Resident Evil. We have. I'm working on some. I'm hoping to hear back from somebody soon.
You're courting somebody. Okay. What's November?
Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah. That's probably full.
Well, see, so one of the things with the new show format is that we are going down to 2 guests.
Okay.
To bolster to allow us to have more of a just chat.
And there's less of a chance of people cutting each other off, like I just accidentally did to you.
Well, but the thing that I would always, I think the thing that Ryan and I both notice is that there tends to be one guest who kind of takes the back seat, and that's okay. Some people it's their first podcast ever. Some people they just aren't as comfortable, and that's perfectly fine.
Like to ramble on it incoherently for the whole time.
Well, there's that happens too. But the thing is that you allow for I don't know. I mean, maybe we can tighten up the conversations a little bit. I think there's if we go and we realize that maybe two guests is not enough, then we can always pivot back. But that's our thought, at least coming out of it. So to answer your question, we have a game in mind that has not been announced yet that we think you would be great for, Eric. So,
you have a game in mind you think I'd be good for, but
Yeah.
you haven't announced it? Is that what you said?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like we have the whole year in our
you
head,
do? Ooh.
but we've shuffled it 3 or 4 times already. Like we moved
Yeah.
this month here, we've taken this out.
Yeah.
So we're kind of
just-
going. It'd be great to have this person here, that kind of thing.
I'm just waiting for another RPG.
Yeah, well, with
Yeah.
Ryan being half of the helm, that may not
Never
happen
happen.
as soon as you want it to.
Yeah, it might take a while for
You
him to
mean
get off the
never?
Not never, not never.
Why? So we can listen to Ryan play the part of P1 the entire time? Like, yep, I played like an hour of the game.
beat. That was P2 on the last RPG podcast. Wasn't
I mean,
it?
Please, guys, tell me what happened in the game.
right. Oh, Odin Sphere. Oh, cool. Mass Effect 2 was the beginning of the end for P2.
Oh,
Just as far as him like being able to play along, or him actually playing along.
yeah. All right.
Time.
That's not I'm not trying to sound like I'm criticizing him. It's just like
It's not.
that was the first one where it was like he was like, man, I wish I'd played it because this sounds awesome. And it's like, dude, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
What do you mean I was supposed to have read the book?
That's right.
The forum only goes up to October,
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to. We need to.
FYI. And have you announced December?
No,
Okay. Well, if you do decide there's a game that you'd like me to be on, I'd love to be on. Give me a couple months head start if possible.
For sure.
Because I need a long time to play these games.
You know,
What I can try to do is pick games that you've already played.
Yeah, but I probably want to play them again, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, trying to get through Doom.
While we're on the topic of games of the month, I just want to drop another suggestion because I've been looking at it recently. For eventually, I think it would be cool to play. Is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't really talk about that one, but it's kind of an interesting.
Where does that fit in the
Legacy of Kain timeline
chronology? Yeah,
it's the second game, but it's the first by Crystal Dynamics, and you can kind of just start there because the previous one is Blood Omen, and that's a completely different style. Like that's kind of more of a Zelda Doom-ish top-down RPG type dungeon hack and slash thing, whereas Soul Reaver is 3D Ocarina of Time open adventure thing.
Okay.
But like a lot of the tech in that is impressive for the era, and it's a little bit hard to track down. Not like hard or expensive. It's just that's exactly the version I want to play, but it's too expensive to justify it. The Dreamcast.
Sorry,
version.
I didn't mean to show off. I was just.
No, it's fine.
This is the game you're talking about.
No, it's fine. That's just the only version that runs at 60 frames per second. It's totally fine.
I think I have that on PC.
Yeah, that's the Dreamcast one runs at twice the frame rate, not as consistently, and has better character models than the PC version that's currently on GOG. No big deal. Damn it.
Did this game come out on PlayStation?
Yeah, that was where it first came out.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one to. That's the second easiest one to get after the PC versions. The PC versions are super cheap.
The Dreamcast is hard to get? Okay.
It's harder.
I bought it back in the day, so
yeah. I mean, it's harder to get because that's the one that hasn't been re-released ever since.
Yeah, right.
But that's kind of unfortunate because like the PS1 version and the PC version both are locked to 30 frames per second. Because and this is just kind of little nitpicks essentially. But like it's locked to 30 because the PC version is based on the PS1 version. And then they released the Dreamcast one, which had better character models, higher resolution, and better frame rate. But no one has touched that version ever since. It's basically a mini remaster, and it's not available anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Other than the original disc.
So how many games in the series are there? I see Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver 2, and Blood Omen.
Yeah, Blood Omen
is the
Blood
first.
Omen 2 is a later kind of side thing.
Oh, there's a Blood Omen 2?
Yeah, you don't have to really worry about that one. And it's Soul Reaver 2, and then Legacy of Kain Defiance. That's the whole series. There was a online multiplayer free-to-play thing for a hot minute called Nosgoth, but that died a quick and terrible death.
Oh, so there's actually... So I'm hearing 5 from you then.
Yeah.
Blood Omen 1 and 2, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and what was the last one you said?
Defiance. It's
Defiance.
That's the only one on Xbox other than Blood Omen 2 as well.
And what's it called? Is it called Legacy of Kain Defiance?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I have
Kain with a K, so if that helps.
Yeah, no, I got it. It says that's on PS2 also.
Yeah,
I might have that one.
Of the games that are available on original Xbox, which would be the highest quality versions of them other than PC, it's like...
No, I agree, yeah.
That's like Defiance is on there, and yeah.
Once I got an Xbox in that generation, I pretty much started buying everything that was available on the Xbox because it was so, so much more powerful.
Yeah. We ended up getting more into like the different versions and whole series than I meant to when I suggested that. But like just as far as Soul Reaver 1, no, it's fine. Soul Reaver 1 is just kind of one of these touchstones because it was it's like with the current Tomb Raiders, that's a good discussion because it's made by Crystal Dynamics before they started the Tomb Raiders, and they were all directed and written by Amy Hennig of Uncharted fame. So it's like,
is that right?
Yeah, like once Legacy of Kain ended, it split off, and Amy Hennig went to go do Uncharted, and then Crystal Dynamics went to do Tomb Raider, and neither of them have done anything else since almost.
Wow.
But they all seem to be between projects because Crystal Dynamics didn't do the newest Tomb Raider. They assisted on it, but they weren't the main developer. It was Eidos Montreal. So now would kind of be the perfect time for them to come back together and make a new one. That's kind of something I would like.
Isn't she working for
EA?
EA, and she was doing the Star Wars game at one point, right?
Everything she's worked on has been canceled, other than
That's
Battlefield Hardline. That's the only one that came out, which was also by Visceral. So it's like it's all gone up in flames. She might not want to stay there that much longer.
Yeah.
But that's hearsay and just me kind of speculating. But I can't imagine that's a lot of fun. I would just like them to make a new one. Cool tech thing in that game, other than like apparently it's kind of regarded for being impressive for the era. Not so much now. It's dated. But I think that's the first game, at least it's the first game I could find, where they hid the loading screens. Like kind of how like in the Tomb Raider games when you like crawl through a little space and it would hide the thing. Like where you wouldn't see a loading screen between every single room. That was kind of the first game to really do that, where it would load the room that you were just in, the room you're in, and the next room. And it would just kind of cycle as you went through the game, rather than show a bunch of loading screens.
Anyway, so I bought a Super Nintendo Junior for $30. Does not read games.
Did you know that when you bought it?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say $30 for one of those is probably the broken price.
Yeah, how much work did that take? Done.
Did
I'm
you
betting
fix it?
that's the issue. I don't know. It's on the way.
Oh, okay.
It should be here on Saturday. I'm just chuckling because I'm like, you idiot. It says the unit powers on, does not read games. I'm betting it's just got crap in the cartridge connector or something like that.
Probably.
Let's get the Cheeto dust out of there.
Heck, it'll be a good test for my ultrasonic cleaner.
Oh, you got that, huh?
That's supposed to be here Friday.
Nice.
I have a Turbo Duo board that I'm going to put into it. And I'm also going to chuck some really nasty stuff in there first. I can figure out where I put it. I've got crap everywhere, man.
Yeah, anyway, on Legacy of Kain.
Sorry.
That's fine. But
yeah, I threw it on our running list because we've got a like both Ryan and I, we have a shared doc, and we just like every time we have a game that comes up, it's like, man, well, no idea is a bad idea at this stage.
McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure.
Hey, Sneak King. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Sneak King.
One of those games is substantially better than the other one. I'm just going to say that much. It would be a short episode. But
I mean, you could do Mick Kids or Mick and Mac Global Gladiators or
anyway,
Cold Stone Creamery.
Anyway, I was just going to end with Soul Reaver, unless you wanted to talk something else on it. I just think it's an interesting game for the time that not a lot of people really talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to chuck this into my ultrasonic cleaner.
B-17 Bomber.
B-17 Bomber.
That was pretty good.
I mean, your phone was doing a lot of the impression on that one, but still.
Well, it's technically the headset on, but this is a space chip off, some of the chips off of. But it's like skull fucked with corrosion, so I'm gonna see how well it gets cleaned up. Sorry, I cursed. Oops.
Okay, I was reading that got cut off so much. I'm like, did he just say?
It got ruined by corrosion.
What game?
This isn't a game.
Oh, okay.
This is a Sega CD main board. You guys probably can't see it, but there's a lot of black holes in the board, which is basically the acid has eaten away this board from these leaky caps. So I'm going to take all the caps off. Actually, hell, I'm just going to leave the caps on it because I don't really give a damn if this thing works or not.
Yeah,
I just want to toss it in to test and see how the ultrasonic cleaner works.
Oh, yeah.
What? Wouldn't you rather to me testing a junk board before I test in put in something that I actually want to work?
No, yeah, that's a good idea. I was just kind of having fun because you went all robot voice there for a minute.
That's okay.
Blah, la, 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 la.
Yeah. One other last thing I'll say about Soul Reaver is there's a good Digital Foundry video, one of their DF Retro episodes on Soul Reaver. It's a really good episode if you want to go check that out.
All right.
That would give you an idea of whether you want to do it for the show or not, too.
I might have to add some of these to the wish list.
So I'm taking it if I want there to be an RPG soon, I need to bug the crap out of Ryan and get him to okay an RPG.
I mean, and I think really if you have if there's a game, and this applies to everyone and anybody who's listening to this or anybody who is remotely interested in in vocalizing a game, like let us know. Like we're not turning anything down. Like the list of games that we have is, single column, but it's 2 pages at this point. Beyond what we have planned for this season 6.
How hard has he been campaigning for Shenmue since that started?
It's in the mix.
Yeah, we should do Shenmue
Color me
sometime next
shocked.
year.
Yeah, that would be cool. I haven't gotten a chance to get back to it, but I'd like to play it.
Yeah. It's certainly in the mix, and yeah. The nice thing is that suddenly you've got 2 new, P1 got his Final Fantasy IV, which is, until he gets officially back from being overseas, is still his favorite game of all time. Although rumor has it Octopath has supplanted that, maybe. I think that's recency bias. I don't know.
I did get one more nerdy pickup.
What'd you get?
Something a bit on the expensive side. Sitting on my desk.
Which one?
This thing.
What does it do?
Oh, is it the hot air station?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's up to temp.
Wow.
They're a robot dentist office.
That's what I was trying to think of a way to. Okay, now rinse.
Sure, rinse with that 300 degrees Celsius hot air.
Yeah,
It can go
crazy.
up to
No.
He's on
500
fire.
degrees C.
C. Jesus.
500 degrees C.
Be careful, please.
And 120 liters per minute.
Oh my God.
Which is hot as hell.
Yeah.
You may want to turn that back down and off.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
We're playing Doom for the game of the month. We don't need your house turning into it, too.
Yeah.
It's okay. It will literally remove anything.
That's crazy. Nice.
And I also got the nice angled 45-degree tip,
Yeah.
so I can sit there under my microscope and not be like blowing air sideways.
Nice.
It's always nice when the tip angles like that, right?
Oh, musty.
For
Normal tips.
convenience, right?
For the angled tip. Yeah.
Straight. The one I have is angled. So, when it's easier to get the air directly on what you want.
I'm so tempted. I don't want to make a joke. I don't want to make it.
You're tempering your response.
Yes.
Make the joke.
That's
Makes
not
the
funny.
joke.
No, it's off color and not funny.
Oh, come on.
All right. It was topical. Did they have one that had a toad-shaped tip.
Ah, there we go.
It's too obvious, and it's just gross.
Mini mushroom.
Yes.
Oh boy. Well, I guess. Anyway, how else are you supposed to take all these stupid chips off?
Is that a Saturn?
Yes, it is.
Why are
This
you
is an
taking them
exercise.
off?
I'm not.
Okay, good.
I'm taking all the caps off because I checked the ESR and they're all high.
Okay.
And this came in with laser issues, so I'm guessing the caps are part of the problem.
Laser.
Lasers.
Laser beam.
Yeah.
All I want is some freaking sharks with lasers. All right, man.
It's been a long time since I've seen those movies.
I know. I was thinking that too.
Also, this is an exercise in how not to build a game console. There is way too much crap in here.
Yeah. The Saturn is a mess.
I mean, I can count like 3 or 4 different freaking processors. Like, here's a 6800.
I'm going to step away for a minute while he's doing this.
Theirs are probably processors. You had a bunch of friggin' ASICs, like 3, 4 ASICs on the board. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's RAM. That's RAM.
I didn't know the Saturn had a
RAM.
68,000 on it.
Yeah.
That's not the main
NC
processor,
60
is it?
This is probably, I believe this is the audio processor.
They're using
Sega likes to
68K.
take the main processor from their previous system and use it as the audio
Yeah, I know.
processor in their next system.
Well, yeah, and it's a way to, that's what they did with the Genesis and the Master System, and it kind of makes it a way that it suggests that backward compatibility was something they were maybe considering.
Yeah, until they realized, what the hell have we made?
Yeah.
Why did we do this?
Are there any Hitachi chips on there? There should be some Hitachi SH2s or 3s or something, or 4s. Didn't they have dual SH somethings in there? I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of the 32X. You don't see any Hitachi
There's
chips?
SH2. I believe that would be these guys.
There's 2 of them?
HD 6417095.
Yeah.
I think that's the date code.
I think the Hitachi SH2s are the main processors. Anyway, it was a hard system to program for, right? You got all those processors.
Yeah.
That's why it hasn't been. Well, I think the emulation's coming along now, but
Slowly. You still got to have a massively powerful PC like the one I have, and then it still doesn't run at 100%, which is annoying. But yeah. I basically took this apart, told the owner I probably think it needs a recap because, ESR and all the caps is up. They're not leaking, but they will be. So if you own an early model Saturn, it probably needs new caps.
Yeah, I'm sure all of my stuff needs new caps.
Hey, you know a guy.
I know. I just rent a box car to ship it all out to you because I got so much crap.
It's okay.
That's the problem. I got so much stuff that needs to be done. I'd like to do some on my Game Gears. I got a couple Game Gears.
Those are fairly cheap to do and fairly cheap to ship.
Yep.
So
I know. I don't believe me. I'm with you. I'm reading you.
I need business, man.
I know.
It's been slow since I came back. Taking a year and a half off kind of makes you disappear.
You're in school, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're in the semester is active, is it not? Okay.
Yep.
You're taking electromagnetics, sounds like.
No, I'm taking RF circuit design.
That's what your transmission line course is?
That's where we're doing transmission lines, yes.
Okay.
See, I'm in the EET program. Okay. It's kind of back-asswards in some ways. Straight EE, they'd make you take electromagnetics first.
Yeah.
EET, they're like, nah, we're just going to throw you right into RF circuit design.
Well.
And then we're going to use a couple lab periods to catch you up on, like, wave equations and transmission lines and all the other stuff. Okay.
Well, you're learning. You've got a very practical coursework, it seems, to me.
Yeah. Because we went over what did we go over today? Transmission lines, impedance matching, characteristic impedance of the transmission line, reflection coefficient.
Yeah.
All the important stuff for RF circuit design.
Yeah.
Lossless transmission line. If you get told you have a lossy transmission line, run. There's one person in here that gets what I mean by that. Anyway, yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted for a second.
I also may be trying to get the, what's it called? Keysight RF certificate after this course is done. But my professor basically told me I have to, get my typical grade in the class and write good lab reports.
Yeah.
Which is what he expects, and then I'm probably going to have to do some extra work at the end of the semester.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a good thing to be able to put on a resume.
Yes.
Keysight RF certificate. Basically said, hey, I can make RF systems where I'm RF ready. Or somewhat RF ready.
So
I'm not looking forward to
Yoshi, just to walk back quickly to the if you want to get an RPG, if you have games in mind and want to throw names out there, go for it. Because we're, like I said, we're putting together a list, and
should I walk over to my collection and start listing stuff off?
No.
No, that's not what I'm asking for. But if there are games,
specific
if there are games that you have in mind that you think would make a really great game of the month, that aren't too, like if you put one of your Saturn games out there, I'm probably going to tell you to take a walk, but because I just don't know
something that is more easily accessible.
Yeah. And keep in mind that both Ryan and I have to play this game. So,
do you mind movies?
You gonna suggest Xenosaga?
Maybe. Because that is a very good saga. Except there's also 3 games and they're all 30 hours.
Isn't the second one not great?
Yeah.
And the third one's really hard to get, isn't it?
The third one's stupid expensive. You don't have to do all 3.
I think the
Final
first
Fantasy
one...
VIII.
Ryan's not enthused about the RPG selections or suggestions.
Ryan will never be enthused about the RPG.
He's in line at Taco Bell raging on the fact that we're talking about RPGs.
We'll just get him used to the idea.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just gonna say. Let me just say, the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VIII is next September.
That would be awesome. Because I've never played that game, and I need an excuse.
My least favorite Final Fantasy game.
I think
that would be interesting.
Favorite Final Fantasy game too.
And Musty loves that game.
I do love that game.
So that would make very good contrast as someone who doesn't like that game talking to someone who does like that game.
Doesn't Shenmue 3 come out in September or October though?
Yeah.
Ew.
You gotta, and if Final Fantasy VIII's 20th anniversary is next September, which it is, and I now know you're right because I'm going to tell you it is also the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast on the same day.
It is the same day.
Exactly 9/9/99.
Yep.
So we should play some Dreamcast
and it's
games?
the same day. 9/9/98 was Parasite Eve.
Meh.
99.
Anyway, Shenmue. We should do Dreamcast. Anyway, I'd be up for Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
That's the next one I got to play in numerical order.
I wouldn't mind playing that again.
If everyone gets their chance to play their favorite game once in a while,
that wouldn't be so bad. So Phantasy Star 1 then, or
I'd be up for Phantasy Star 1 podcast. I like Phantasy Star 1.
You know what? It's hard for me to. I mean, I know I should, but I don't know if I could really recommend that as a game of the month. That's not a game that I think people need to play necessarily, or that the Cartridge Club should play.
Yeah, it's
Phantasy
not a
Star 4 is probably the better choice.
Yes.
No. The original
Because
Phantasy Star would be like a few steps up from going back to play the original Dragon Quest at this point.
Yeah.
Just in terms of broad appeal.
I think most people would be like, what the hell is this archaic crap?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to actually draw maps on graph paper, probably.
Or, you know,
everybody's shining
Google
in the darkness.
Maps.
And
Oh, God, yeah, that's another one.
we'll pick some,
I would
we'll
put-
pick some
That one-
Atari game.
With that one, do you
well,
just have
Phantasy
to
Star
make your graphs
4,
in the dark?
I think Phantasy Star 4 would actually be a decent one because you can get that on a lot of modern Genesis collections.
Yeah.
So it would be readily accessible.
Yep.
That and people can emulate it too if they would want.
Not as easily now, but still.
The original game cartridge is expensive though.
Yeah, but like if it's available relatively cheaply. Which one
Because
were
I
you
get
talking
that's
about?
part of the issue.
Which game were you talking about? Just to make
Phantasy
sure?
Star 4?
Yeah, I thought so, but I was double checking the list here. That is on the most recent collection. 2, 3, and 4.
So that would be decent for that. There's a couple Super Nintendo RPGs I wouldn't mind revisiting. But there's a lot of games I'm trying to get to.
I mean, other than Chrono Trigger, I think we've done the 2 that most people would be willing to play. Other 3 that most people would be willing to play on Super Nintendo.
Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 4, Super Mario RPG, and Secret of Mana.
Did Cartridge Club do Chrono Trigger?
No.
No, they haven't, right?
No,
And
but
they've done 4. They haven't done 6.
yeah, I'm just
Mystic
saying. It's
Quest.
like, I'm just saying that most of the bases have been covered by this point.
Yeah.
You
Ooh,
could do
Grandia.
you could do Dragon Quest 4. That's not really on. It wouldn't be practical to play it on the old systems. It's already available on DS and backwards compatible on 3DS, and available on mobile phones.
Those are portable systems.
No, fair enough.
That would have to
Oh,
go into
yeah.
the portable
I was
category.
thinking the Super Nintendo era, even though it's an NES game.
Also, Dragon Quest are stupid long.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
I mean, we did already
RPGs
do
that
one.
are like 30 hours max, 30, 40 hours, not 80 to 100 hours. Like, I'd love to just be like, hey guys, we should play, you know, Xenoblade Chronicles.
How long?
Except that would be like, yeah, we might as well do that like 3 podcasts a year at that point.
I know it's on 4 discs, but I'm going to ask, how long is Lost Odyssey?
Like 80 hours.
Yeah, that's not surprising. So that's a no. We already tried an 80-hour RPG. It didn't go well.
Well, if we were going to do RPGs, we might as well do a spin-off. The RPG
How
cast.
long to beat says 50 hours.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
main story alone.
Potentially 100.
Hey,
Yeah.
completionist is 103.
Yeah.
So it'll take you somewhere between those or longer, depending on if you look up guides or not. Remember, the 50 hours is if you know exactly what to do and where to go and everything about the game. That's the one caveat about how long to beat is you have to realize that there's basically, that's how long it's going to take you if you know what to do. And by what to do, I mean everything you're supposed to do in the game. And you don't sit there for a couple hours going, where do I go now?
Yeah, I mean that's this is the tough balancing act, right? Because it's like, hey, it'd be great if we could play a Sega CD game, but not everyone has a Sega CD.
I would love to suggest like Lunar.
That would be great.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but
The same goes with the same goes with Dreamcast or Saturn.
But then
or,
again,
like
Lunar's also available on like iOS. You could emulate it easily. Not
PSP,
so easily anymore.
yeah,
It is on PSP too.
which works on Vita. Yeah, a lot of people are going to play the Vita version.
yeah.
Anyway, just random side note. Just a question for Musty because I was looking at my shelf and I saw this again. Do you have this Myst 4 on Xbox?
No.
Do you want it? Because I got it a while ago, but I don't really care about it. You can get back to me later if you want.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Just
I'd only ever seen Exile, which is the third Myst 3. I
I
didn't know
forgot that was on there. But yeah, I got the manual and everything in here. It works.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Yeah. Disc isn't perfect, but it does work.
That's how most of them are.
Yeah. But I figured I'd just float that since I was reminded of it again.
Cool.
Well, there's also Grandia.
That's going to get a remaster, actually, so.
It's getting an HD remaster that's coming out really soon, so that would be a decent topical new game.
That took me forever.
I know, it is a long game.
That's
like the problem with RPGs.
Game. Wow.
That's
well, I mean,
literally...
and that's where it's tricky, because like Final Fantasy VIII, if you want it to be an 80-hour game, it can be an 80-hour game. Like,
if you want to beat it in 30 to 40 hours, you can do it. I think I sat down and beat Final Fantasy VIII in like one session. When I was a teenager.
I've seen runs of it's like 11 hours is like the like like those people who go for like minimum builds and you know
all the little tricks to break the game.
Yeah, well, I mean the key is to not level. If you don't level, then the enemies don't get strong, and therefore they have very few hit points.
I never got the system of that game. Well, there's also the Breath of Fire series.
But that system's loaded with math. I feel like it'd be right up your alley.
Anyway.
For real, though.
RPGs, it might be better to do like a little spin-off thing. And do like 2 or 3 of them a year. Because that would give people time to play them. Here's 4 months to play the game. Because it's 80-some hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one RPG selection that's going to be a lot more accessible soon. And one just kind of off the wall kind of a suggestion. Just because I was looking at my shelf. This Cameo for a retro game. Not retro, rare game. That not a lot of people talk about. It's not the best, but...
Cameo? That's an RPG?
No. I was saying this is just an offside suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah, ideally not this horrible version with the platinum cover. I hate these. But
is that something we could do as like an RPG cast?
No. But I was just saying that because...
Hold on. He's asking in general, is that something we could do?
No, I'm just...
Cameo doesn't fit that bill, but...
Yeah, I'm just floating that as a general suggestion, not an RPG. But I was just looking on my shelf for other RPGs, and I floated that as well. So, but for an RPG, Tales of Vesperia.
Oh yeah, that's coming out again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also like $5 on the Xbox 360 at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, some RPGs from last gen are probably your most accessible ones right now, given their price and...
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be another one.
That'd be a great one.
Wait until they announce the backwards compatibility for that one. That would make it a lot more accessible.
Or a Fable game.
Yeah, I was going to that as well. But
Fable 2, 3?
If you wanted to really get a device on Discovery, that would be really, really split down the middle.
If I had to pick one of the Fables, I'd probably go with 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have all 3.
I mean, they're all equally good, but 2 kind of was it's the empire of the 3.
Yeah.
I have a friend that was really into Fable, but just kind of hates 2 and 3, but loves the first one, which is really weird. It's like everything else is like sacrilege after the first one.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting. I put 80 hours into 2, but I haven't played the first or third one. It's just 2. I would actually be more into the first one, and that would probably be.
The first one was all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, I wouldn't mind playing 2 again either.
Well, would a quarterly RPG cast be something people were interested in?
What's the question?
Not quarterly, but isn't Agent Poyo already doing an RPG cast?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he does have one. I don't know how associated to, like, are they playing through them or are they just having the conversations?
But still, I'm saying that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing with any game of the month kind of deal is that you have that weird thing with the forums where there's people who are in all these different spaces. And so, like, even with Doom this month, like, I found myself, like, having to be overly cryptic for the sake of not ruining it for people. So, like, I'm like, oh, I got the last gun, or I got this. Like, some people can draw conclusions and know what I'm talking about, but at least I'm not, like,
Yeah.
over, like,
I appreciate you not spoiling it. I think I know what you're talking about, but
I mean, if you've played the originals, then
you can kind of figure.
You've got a pretty good feel for what is
Yeah.
probably coming.
Yeah. Still.
And when you get it, don't be afraid to use it. Let me just.
Oh. Okay.
Just like the chainsaw,
is that a
right?
thing?
There's a good time to use the chainsaw at all times. Like.
Oh, I have no more ammo.
Yeah,
Dude,
I found myself like not breaking that out until the last possible moment, and I don't know that I needed to do that. There's plenty of gas.
Yeah, there's plenty of ammo for everything.
Around, yeah. But in the original game, the chainsaw was ammo less, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
That was a surprise. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't? It's out of gas. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
It would be a little overpowered if it was unlimited.
Yeah, well, I used to use them exclusively against. I used to use it in the original game against, I guess, what are called pinkies.
Yep.
They come running at you, and you just chainsaw them every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about the new Doom. not here. You know, save the discussion for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand. Like, a lot of RPGs are hard to put on for Game of the Month.
Yeah,
a lot of them are generally not re-released or not easily accessible or cost a ton of money.
Yeah.
To the point where the majority of people in the club probably don't want to go out and spend $70 on some obscure RPG. For a console they probably don't own.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and now they're releasing them, and they have these little optimizations so that you can kind of speed your way through some of this stuff. Like, even the like Steam editions of Final Fantasy games have the like quickly unlock all this stuff, and then you don't have to do all the work. Like,
yeah,
I have a hard time with that. Like, and
that kind of ruins the game, but at the same time, I understand why they're doing it, because a lot of people are not willing to sit here and play through 100-hour games.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do like Octopath Traveler. So
Melissa was playing that today.
I bought a copy of it finally.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the music. It's early. That's about all I can say. Like, I'm like 3 hours in.
I haven't even started it, but I bought it for like $45 from GameStop.
Yeah,
I found a used copy. I was literally walking into GameStop like 2 or 3 times a week looking for a used copy, and then walking out, and the guy's like, "What the hell, man?" Eventually, I'd walk in and like the guy was just like, "Are you gonna buy something this time?" And I'd look through the Switch games and go, "Nope. See you in like 2 days." It's like, "What are you looking for?" Used copy of Octopath, because I don't want to pay $60 for it. Told me I was going to be looking for a while.
Yeah.
It took like a month of visiting my local GameStop all the time.
Musty, wasn't there a game you were trying to get quick? Oh, was it Spider-Man? You were looking for a game, or you were hoping to cash in on a game, a quick turnaround on a game, a new game used?
I ended up getting Octopath used. The similar way. I mean, I wasn't going in every day. It just happened to be the day that I went in, they had a used copy. I wanted to do that with Spider-Man, but I ended up just buying it over the weekend.
I should clarify, I didn't go in every day. I'd go in like once or twice a week.
So
I'd go in a couple days a week, because they are literally, it's 5 minutes away. So I'd go grab lunch and then walk to the GameStop, see if it was there, and then we'll go home.
Okay.
Because literally
So
the store is 5 minutes away from my house.
My local shop does punch cards,
Nice.
and so every game purchased over $5. Yeah, every game over $5 gets you a stamp, and then it's 20% off. So the max discount that you can get is on a $70 game, but they don't sell games for $70. They sell them for $60 for new ones. So that was, to me, the biggest discount I could get, so it made sense. So I just went for it.
I could have bought a copy of Astal for the Saturn last week.
Oh, yeah?
I passed on it because it was $70. I went back a couple days later to buy it, and, some collector walked in and like, I have $1,000. I'm going to spend $1,000.
Oh, my God.
And bought, like, almost all of the Saturn games that they just had traded into the local shop. So, local shop owner's happy. Me, not so much.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
It's okay. I'll wait till I can find a loose copy so it's cheaper.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to have to wrap it up here, guys. I want
to remind everyone about STC tomorrow night.
Okay. Was that it? Was that the reminder?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Yeah. STC tomorrow, right? What time?
9:30 Eastern.
So 6:30 Pacific?
Yes, on the primary Cartridge Club channel.
Do you know do you know how it's going to work?
I have a feel for it.
Huh?
I have a feel for it.
They're only bringing one person on it. So is it a Hangout? Are we all getting on a Hangout?
No. No. It's there will be the chat, but then they're bringing on. I'm trying to think of who else has done this. They basically what they want to do is bring on one person at a time. So yeah.
So let me ask you did that one time.
If you're going to be on it, do you know that you're going to be on it already?
No, not necessarily.
People, or are they going to pick them at the time it happens?
I think it's whoever wants in.
Okay. And then what? They'll send you the link. You'll join in.
So I will send you the link. I'll get you in there.
Okay.
I'm stage managing this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be fast getting people in and off, right?
Oh, it'll be fine.
You'll have to queue people up. Well,
managing the board.
I'll do as best I can.
You'll do fine, I'm sure. Right.
I mean, the production quality is gonna be at or above normal STC standards.
Dude, their podcast of the year.
I know.
Right? That's high production quality standards. That's right. All right. So no pressure or anything, but don't blow this for them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around.
You only turn 200 once, right?
Yeah. Hey, it's a milestone.
Other news, anyway, sorry. I finished Magic Knight Rayearth for the Saturn.
Okay.
Which is an excellent game.
And
I don't know if it was worth the $200, but
Did you get there because the number 200 was said? Is that the connection point of why you got in there?
Hey, it's a connection point, isn't it?
It is. I'm not saying it's a good one, but
all right.
No, I just randomly thought of it, and then that kind of linked it together.
All right. Sorry, Yoshi. Was there anything else on STC Pod?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know Bill tweeted out the link. The link itself is where the Hangout will be viewable.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have a desire to be on, like, I can take a mental note, but I would potentially say something to Bill. I know they won't be monitoring chat, but I will.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if somebody's like, really, really wants in, we'll find a way to make it work.
Right. We'll see. I don't know. Tomorrow's a bad night for us. Melissa's got a party, and I got to watch the kids. So we're going to try to join. At least I might try, but yeah, I was just wondering. All right.
Okay.
So
thank you.
I just found out that my Castlevania Lords of Shadow special collector's edition thing that I bought used has everything but the soundtrack.
That sucks.
Meh.
I bought it like 2-3 years ago though, and never touched it. So
Well, yeah.
That's on you.
Probably not going to get that soundtrack from the guy.
it was used from a GameStop.
Oh, from a GameStop. Oh, right, yeah. Well, you could always go in and ask him, I suppose.
It's probably throwing it out by this point.
Yeah.
I still need to get that game. I haven't finished the first one, but that's kind of a random thing I want to fill in that gap.
That, or they never had the soundtrack to begin with, which is probably the more likely.
Yeah, that's
scenario.
more like it. Likely. The soundtrack's probably the best part of that game, to be honest.
I know. That's why I'm sad about it.
That game's so bizarre, though, just in terms of setting and just kind of everything about it. That's why I want it. Anyway, moving right back to the actual topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, or next week.
Okay.
I will
Good
see
night.
Eric.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of at the end anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just sitting here
Wrap up, or-
debating what game I should play next.
Final Fantasy 9.
No.
I haven't played it, so I'm
It's the best one.
well, I'm lining up to do that. I just don't want to go right from 6 into the next one. Like I want to
Oh. There we go. We should play Final Fantasy 9 so I have an excuse to replay it.
It would be a more popular suggestion than 8.
This is true.
allegedly. But the thing is, not all Cartridge Club games have to be popular.
Yeah, I think we've.
There could be some that are
clear.
yes. There could be some that are like, I don't know, like there may be some that it's like this game gets a bad rap and maybe we can set the record straight.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Do Final Fantasy 8 in April. I still think that would be fun to do like kind of an odd game in like April for April Fools type thing.
Oh, no. Do an absolutely horrible game, but then you have to put
That's
it
a
out
bad
early.
idea.
Oh, you guys will like our April choice. Let me just say
So
that.
we lost Eric and we gained some sauce.
Or the very least some salt if you keep on the RPG talk.
Hey, sauce. Do you want
I've
some
had enough
RPGs
of this
with your
RPG
sauce?
talk. It's ending now. I want to get on before the show ended, so.
Yeah.
Oh, the RPGs.
I haven't spilled any secrets, so don't worry.
I know.
But I
All
did.
of them.
I've been listening.
Okay. Good.
You want some RPG sauce?
No, I want to play fun games.
I'll trade you RPGs for N64s.
I'd rather keep my dead N64s that don't work.
You have some that don't work.
Allegedly, I still have to test them.
Just need to find an RPG where you look for some sailors, then it'll be in.
There you go. Now you're talking fun.
Wait. RPGs with sailors and a moon?
There was no mention of moons, but
What?
So I missed anything tonight besides RPG talk?
RPG talk?
Did you do pickups?
oh yeah.
Musty, did you show off your working Brawler 64 controller?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Here's my pickup.
Because I got one that doesn't work. I got one that it works but doesn't work correctly. If you can believe that.
These were my pickups. NES Classic and Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Sounds good.
Duff.
But I have tracking information. They are sending me another one, and I don't have to send this one back. So, Yoshi, do you want to take a stab at trying to get this one to work?
Sure.
I'll send it your way
You can
next time.
toss it in with your Atari.
It works, but the A, B, and start button doesn't always read the inputs. Like, but the easiest way I can describe it is if I'm pressing the start button, it doesn't always. For let's say you're playing GoldenEye, when you press start, the watch will come up. That doesn't happen. Not every time. You have to keep mashing it, and eventually it pop up. So
Sounds like the conductive pad's not making good contact or something stupid like that.
So I'll send it your way, and you can play with this dead one. It's not dead, but I'm getting apparently I'm getting a new one in like a day or two. So
did they fix the problem they had with those?
Yeah,
there's no rubbing when you do this. There's no.
Good.
How is it otherwise? Because I remember there was like some discussion back and forth on that.
Hey,
I mean,
remember.
The build quality is still the same as it was.
I can't give a full-on review with a one that doesn't work correctly. So
I'm still trying to. I'm going to be trying to hawk some Ultra HDMI N64s in about 2 months. So if anybody's interested,
so if I send you
contact me.
If I send you 4, will you send me one back with an HDMI one in it free?
No.
All right.
I can go buy 4 N64s for the cost of like one kit.
Yeah, well, you be getting 3 for free, right? So you can sell each one of them at $400 a piece and make, $1,200.
Except you can't sell them at $400 a piece anymore. They don't freaking sell.
Well, we go to Portland. I guarantee they'll have them there for $400 a piece.
Yeah, because you're gonna have a bunch of people, and they're gonna see them in person and see what it looks like, and go, "Oh my god, it looks so good on this TV."
See, boom, bring a
called
TV.
A sales pitch.
Yeah. You sir.
So I mean, to answer the question though about this controller, it's fine. It does what they wanted it to do. I kind of want to take the shell off of it and have it painted. Because, I don't know.
Don't like the color?
I wish they had a color option to start. Like, now they're offering, they have this, secondary Kickstarter where it's like, here's all the fantastic colors. It's just like, well, I don't want any of those. Because I just don't. It's not... I would have much rather had a solid blue or a solid red, the base ones, not the fantastic. But you could do something pretty cool with getting this, painted up and.
Yeah, other than I suck at painting.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp.
But
I am no good at the painting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Send it to Retro Revolutions. You see those paint jobs he pulls out?
But he's not doing those paint jobs. He's sending them out, right?
Yeah,
he's got a guy who sends them out to somebody. Yeah.
See,
of course, then you have
probably
to send
be better
it to
served.
Australia.
I'd be better served to send it to Russ, because Russ does his own paint on a lot of stuff.
Well, I need someone that can paint an original NES top loader because I tried to retrobrite it and it got all screwed up. So it's the right color mostly, but it's got some splotchy spots on it.
I'd reach out to Russ Lyman, see what he can do. He's not far from you either, right? I don't think.
It depends on how much he's going to charge to paint it up. That's the whole thing I'm on.
I guess depends on what he does to paint it also, because if he's got to clear coat it, which I assume is what you would want.
Well, I am basically looking for something where I can take the console and resell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking to install either an RGB kit or the HDMI kit into it and then sell it.
Yeah, so I mean, at the same time, if you put a cool paint job on it, or a cool at least color, that could help, maybe. If it doesn't cost you a ton to get it painted that way.
Yeah, that's the whole key. Do you have a rough ball? Do you have any idea how much he charges to paint stuff?
I don't even know if he would offer his services. I just know that he does his. He videos his own stuff, and that card that he did was all by hand. A lot of the work on that. So I don't know if he has the resources or what, but I know that he's, Like he was spray painting pieces of the interior of his car and stuff like that. So, and getting those in, working condition. So it's possible, but I don't want to volunteer him to do work that he's not willing to do, but
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to ask.
Well, Switch made me update it.
Yeah.
A controller update is available.
Probably mandatory. I
Yeah.
have no idea what that does. But they do it one at a time, so I don't think it's like only updating the one Joy-Con. But it's for
It's updating my right Joy-Con.
Yeah, it's really quick to do that, honestly.
Yeah, and all I wanted to do was hop on the eShop to see if they had any deals.
They have a bunch.
Deals.
I don't know if there are any good ones, but they have a ton of available right now.
There's usually always a ton available, but half of them are like 2/3 to 90% of it's garbage.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I need to go have something to eat. So I think we're gonna
Literally just did my right Joy-Con.
That's fine. I can go back and eat now. I just want to see if I can catch Eric
Yeah.
quick. And I missed him. All right.
Yeah, that'll be it for this
Capcom
week.
Beat 'em Up bundle.
Now is not the time to bring that up, Yoshi. I haven't looked into that. Maybe we can talk about that next week.
There you go.
Okay.
So,
See you guys.
good.
See ya.
All right.
All right.
See you next week.
All right. Bye.